So it's episode 45, right, Mitch?
Correct.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode
Well, what an intro.
Welcome to episode 45 of the Infra-Red podcast. Tonight, we've got one of the local legends who's been in the scene for a long time and plays absolutely everywhere, internationally and nationally. Shann.
How you going, mate? Good to be here. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
What a fucking time. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to swear? Is that all good?
So my empty one, but g'day, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Things are starting to pick up quite a lot, so yeah, it's getting pretty hectic. Yeah. I really enjoyed having 3 months off to sit around and do nothing when COVID hit. It was a bit of a blessing. And, I like just
a long holiday.
Yeah, exactly. Normally go away for that time of year, so it was interesting to be in Perth. But it's back into it and things are.
Where do you
really
usually go?
So for the last 6 years, I've spent like 2 to 6 months out of Perth. So the first year, 2014, I went away and did like a little 1 month holiday up in Europe and discovered like traveling solo and like all that kind of stuff. And then the next year I went back and did 6 months in Europe. Was just DJing in Greece and EOS and a little party island there.
All by yourself?
Yeah, well, obviously you go by yourself and then you meet everyone there. So yeah, that was the vibe. And then I loved it so much, I did it 4 years in a row.
Fucking hell.
So
that would have been an experience and a half.
4 years in a row in Greece?
Yeah, as in like I'd go for the summer season.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Do you get a set every time you go there, or is it just like...
Yeah, so I just like worked with one of the bar owners there, and then once you're there, you kind of meet all the other bar owners and club owners.
Right, so how many times have you actually played in Greece?
I reckon I would have played there about 200 nights.
Holy shit.
Okay.
I would play every night. So like,
sorry for doubting it.
I would rock up in like, when would it be? June.
Yep.
And then the season goes like pretty much from June to September, right?
Oh.
So that's 4 months.
Yep.
And then I would play
basically
probably like 13 nights in a row, then a night off.
Yeah.
It was never like a definite like amount of time. It was just like you play, and then like one of your mates is in town or like another DJ wants a set, so you just like have the night off. So the first year I went there, I got there before June, and then I had my mate, Boston Switch, Blake McDonald, come over and do the peak season with me.
Boston Switch, yeah.
Shout out to Blake.
Shout out to Blake. He's killing it right now. Have you heard his WAP remix?
Yeah, no, but I haven't heard it yet, but people are playing it everywhere, though.
Very good, hey.
Really?
Very good, yeah.
I have to check it out. I was just telling Mitch about that prior. We have to get him on and talk about it.
Yeah, pretty much what happened is we were like both in the same point about that time in 2015 where like we were both the same kind of level of DJing, and he was like, I want to do production, and I was like, I don't want to touch that. Like, I don't want to sit in a room for 10 hours a day, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of when I branched off and started the business where I did like a little DJ agency, and then he started doing more production. So now it's like so good to see him at the point where like his music is actually getting like super tight
and stuff,
yeah, and then from that it's kind of like, oh, it's so inspiring to see that you actually got there. Because it's like such a hard road to do production, as you can imagine. Like
sometimes it can just be one of those things where it's either a fluke or you're lucky, or you can make such good music that it just like it spreads.
And some people like make really good music and don't have the marketing behind them, and it doesn't spread. There's so many factors that can go into why something like a producer's
production
successful.
is just so hard now these days. It's like to get it out there, you literally have to be a jack of all trades to an extent. And you have to have good social skills,
marketing dude,
and everything,
the networking dude.
Yeah, we've said it a lot, and we're preaching it again. But you have to be like a jack of all trades in the industry nowadays.
We've got to keep preaching it.
Preaching to the choir.
We've got to get a tattoo eventually.
Oh God, no!
On Mitch, not on me. But so, what actually got you into DJing and the whole lot in the way?
Yeah, so
Because you've been doing it for a long, long time,
yeah,
right?
10 years.
Fuck.
Yeah. So I started when I was like 16, 17.
Surely not playing,
No,
clubs
that's
and
when I
bars.
like got my first set of decks, and I was
Yeah.
just mucking around with that, and I was just playing like Ministry of Sound, electro house sessions, and just mixing all those songs together. And I probably spent like about 4 or 5 months just in my room, just like practicing all these, like seeing what happens. Before that, I was just on virtual DJ, and you like press the like beat masher or whatever it was, and it would like do its effect, and you'd be like,
Yeah,
"I'm
yeah,
a DJ, this is sick."
What was your first equipment that you started off with?
I started with the Tractor Control S4,
Oh, shit.
but I started with that like
You don't need me to Google that one.
No, we need to Google that. Please.
I started with that
You
like
want me to Google it?
I'm pretty sure like the
Mark
year
1.
or the second year that it was out, so it was like.
They were amazing.
Dude,
back then,
it
right?
is like still, even that base model is still, in my opinion, and I'd probably get like shunned for this, but still better than CDJs.
No one's going to shun you on here. In this
Yeah,
room.
I know that CDJ 3000s just came out with like the physical like beat jump buttons and the 8 hot cues and all that kind of stuff, but I still think the first model of this, the way that you can beat jump with the 2 like little
the
rotary
little
knobs,
Yeah.
that is like revolutionary,
It
and
was
it's like
so good.
change. It's like that's how I learned to DJ, right? And now when I play on CDJs, I normally just set the intro as a loop, and then like mix out when it's ready, when it's in phase. But then like that's all because of like this controller originally. So I've had like 5 of those.
So that's you've had 5 of them.
Yeah, the first one I had.
Damn.
So that what happened was like I was playing electro house sessions and like Ministry of Sound in my bedroom, and then when I was like 17, I was playing all like 17 birthday parties, and I was like I hope that like the chick wants to listen to electro house music, and she'd be like, "Can you play Taylor Swift?" And I'll be like, "Sure." So I like quickly last minute like, "Oh my god, top 40s! What do I play?" And then I was doing like all the 17ths and all the 18ths for my year group, and then. Like I'd had a few shit times where like people poured drinks on my decks and my laptop and stuff. So
on
that
your
was
laptop as well.
yeah,
Holy shit.
week-old laptop. Whoosh, gone.
Oh my god, MacBook or
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was it was still like $1,000 or $2,000.
Who got lampooned for the
Still,
MacBook?
a week-old laptop.
So then I got a
Holy shit.
MacBook after that. But we got to like it was just
Could you salvage it at all?
No, it was
No,
gone.
God.
I've got a photo of it. If you go on DJ like my Facebook page, it's the first photo I ever put, and it's me like trying to put my decks back together, and it's just like all the parts everywhere, and I'm like, oh.
Wait, so you took an S4 apart?
Yeah,
To try and clean it?
yeah.
Holy shit.
Smelled like burnt coke.
Oh.
You know that like burnt electronic
It's
smell.
like hurting my soul right here.
Yeah,
This
it was
tractor's
tough.
so
Anyway,
good.
let's not talk about that. So I had that, and then like I was doing all that, and then I kind of went from doing the house parties and all of the the loose 18th, and then started doing like a few 21st. I remember being like, I was 18 at the time, and I was like, man, whenever I do a 21st, it's like super formal, and like I don't like it. It's way too formal. I want to just get rowdy. And then I started doing like a few club nights I was promoting and stuff, and then started playing at all the club nights, and then started doing like festival pre-parties and playing at local stages, and then so that was like 2010 to 2014.
Which club nights and stuff? Were they just like the local ones, like Capital?
Yeah,
and stuff?
so get ready for this bad boy.
All right, here we
So
go.
when I was 18, I was promoting at Air for like a month.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I met Christian, who was the dude there, and he now is the manager at Palace Arcade, I'm pretty sure, which is that retro arcade gaming
Yeah,
place.
that's one of a kind.
So he was
amazing
like,
place.
he was like the god of like nightlife back there. He's just such a funny dude. And then I was promoting for a company called Afterlife Events, and they were doing like R&B hip hop nights. And then I kind of learnt that they were pretty much just like ripping off the idea that another promoter was doing, which was like these sneaky R&B hip hop nights, which were called Hush, Sneaky. So Rhythm Bug it was. And one of my best mates at the time, his brother was the photographer there. So we used to go there, and I used to get drunk and be like, "Oh my god, like your club is so sick! I like, please let me promote for you. I'm so keen." And then he'd just be like laughing because I'm like coming to this club, like bringing all my friends anyway, pretty much already promoting, and then like just begging him for a job, and he's like, "Fuck yeah, you can work for me. Like anyone who's that enthusiastic is going to do a good job, you know." So then I started doing that for like 6 months, and then I ended up started DJing at the clubs, and then. It's just like you just meet people, and if you're like a good person, then you get the opportunities. Like if you're a good person and you know what you're doing, then the opportunities just.
It's
keep
just like
coming.
a snowball to an extent.
Yeah,
Right?
just say yes to everything, even if it's just exposure at the start. I was just saying yes to everything. I'd like drive down to Mandurah and play at like the Action Sport Festival for 5 hours for free.
Yeah, a gig's a gig, right? And it gets your name out there. That's the biggest thing.
And then
about
like
it.
that might have got me like some random 18th or school ball or whatever. And then that's the thing. I feel like a lot of DJs have like a bit of an ego issue with like playing everything. But like I kind of learned at a young age, I was like, this is kind of like my hobby. It's fun, but it's also a bit of income. I want to see where this goes. So I just say yes to everything. You know, I'd DJ like a yoga event and then DJ like an after ball with 400 kids on drugs. And it's like,
what a switch.
Yeah, what a switch up. Literally the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
What's it like DJing a yoga event? Like,
so rewarding.
Like
that
chill,
sounds so
just
weird.
Yeah,
we did
That's
one.
becoming a thing now. Like, I know
like
Deep
gyms
House
as well,
Vinyasa.
like-
yeah.
Fucking oath, man.
They've
Love
even
that.
got, we're going to Blossom. We'll talk about Blossom later on. But I'm going to Blossom this weekend and they have like deep house yoga and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to do there.
I've done it a few times. Hey, I used to do it at a place called Power Living. It's now called Flow Space. One of my friends, Kylie Pearsall, who's I met at a festival, and she was like, "I love DJing. I want to learn how to DJ." And then I knew that she was a yoga instructor, and I was like, "I want to do yoga.
Yeah.
Let's do a little like contra deal. Like
He's
you
like, I'll
teach me
help
how to
you.
do yoga, and I'll teach you to DJ." So we
Yeah.
did that for like 6 months, and now she's like DJs a bunch of events around Perth. And I like did yoga for a bunch, and
That's
then
so good.
so sick, hey. And
Yeah.
obviously we would do like the yoga first, and then the DJing, because you wouldn't want to like get amped up DJing and then be like, and zen.
Yeah, and chill.
So what, you separate the yoga and the DJing?
Yeah, you do yoga first, and then like have a
Oh.
10-minute break, and then DJ. This is when I was teaching this instructor
Okay.
how to DJ. But then we would do events together where she would like lead a yoga practice,
Yep.
and I would DJ.
Yep.
And then we did an event called the Wellness Walkabout, which was at Optus Stadium. It was like the second or so year that Optus was around, maybe the first year.
Oh shit.
And we were like, I was DJing on a stage, which is on the actual grounds, and they had about 500 yogis out with their mats on the ground. I'll show you a photo.
Sick.
Hey,
Is that inside the stadium?
on the actual grass in the
Yeah, that would've
stadium.
been sick.
So sick, hey. So then
Yeah.
I did that the same day as Oktoberfest in the Gardens in front of 10,000 people. So I went from like super chill yoga zen with 500 people, and it was so epic, man, because it's not like you're not playing based on like keeping a dance floor there and trying to get people to sing along. You're playing based on purely energy.
Yeah.
So you're like picking songs like that are super ambient and like go with whatever the person who's directing the flow.
Has it got something to
to
do with
suit that whole
That's
vibe
it.
kind of
this
thing.
image here?
That's it. Look at you go.
I'm
so
working on it slowly.
That was the promo image. Yeah, you're like Jaimie from the Joe Rogan Experience, getting there slowly.
Yeah,
I have been
Is
called
Is that what
Jaimie
your
a few
inspiration
times,
is?
yeah.
You're like, I want to get it up. Just like Jaimie.
That's it.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it, yeah.
He's our
Wow,
little Jaimie.
is that my post? That was ages ago. I think I actually put a photo.
I'm in your photos here.
Oh, look at this. So
Yeah.
good.
There was another one. I
I
think
think there was another one.
Oh no,
yeah.
that's something different.
That's just
by
a
the
bit
way.
of fun. I think there's another one of the
Just a
yoga. If
little
you
bit of
scroll up a
fun.
bit.
It's a lot of people behind you.
Nah, actually, it's not there.
That's all right. We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but we get the idea.
Actually, yeah.
Yoga,
See
middle
where
of
it
the.
So awesome, yeah. So there was actually a moment where one of the instructors was like getting everyone to hold hands as they did a position, and then he was like, "And now just let go." And then as he said that, the vocal in my song was like, "Let go of me," and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so good."
It's amazing, wasn't it? I remember
goosebump
mixing
moment.
a couple of weeks ago. We were doing event at the infirmary, and I was mixing, and I didn't pick this up, but one of my friends was like, I did a mix between two songs, and the vocals when they play on each other,
Yeah.
really good. So like I had like an acid house song that would occasionally just have some girl going like acid in the background, and then the other song was like I want your acid.
Oh, that is so
God.
sick.
Yeah, I didn't notice it at the time, obviously, because when you're DJing, you're like a bit zen.
Yeah.
You get in a bit of a zen focus, but like I thought that mix was like so average because I was just, here's like 100 songs in a playlist. I'll just play.
Yeah.
I had a half an hour set or something.
It's funny how sometimes you find songs that just go so well together.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
like, I've actually got like a notepad on my phone, and it's literally called Flow Mixes. And every
Right.
time I find like two songs that go together hell well, I just write it down. So
I'm gonna
like,
start doing that actually. I should because
It's a good idea, yeah.
Yeah.
'cause-
I've got a playlist on my record box, which is just songs that go well together.
yeah,
And it's just odd and even number, and they go well together. And it's just two songs that I've paired up. So every,
Yeah,
two
sick.
songs go well together. So I can take those two songs, mix them, and then pick another two songs and mix
yeah,
them.
perfect.
So that's the way I've set
It's
it
funny
up.
how like it's funny because you don't want to play the same set every time,
Yep.
but at the same time you find a mix that's really nice, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I really want to play this. It's so good, and it gets such a good reaction.
Mm.
So it's a fine line between like killing it, But the reality.
So how do you remember though, like the shit on your phone when you're actually playing?
Oh, like I don't even look at that. That was just that's just if I want to make a mix or something.
Right.
But what happens is like because when I was playing in Greece, I'd play 5 hours every night of the week, right? And then what's that like?
That would have been
35
great
hours,
practice,
right?
though.
So good. That's
Yeah.
how I like transitioned to CDJs. I knew how to play on CDJs, but that was kind of like how it all happened.
Yeah.
And then what happened in regards to all the other stuff in Perth is I would play like 25 hours a week in Perth. So you stop practicing because you're out there actually playing so much. And when you're playing like the similar style of shows like party jams and getting people to dance and sing along, you obviously got songs that you know work really well. And if you're looking at BPM, you know, I play an open format set which goes the full like range of BPM, right? 70 to 140, yeah.
140, yeah.
So then you can even mix back down, you know, mix hip hop with drum and bass because it's
That's exactly it.
174 or 87, yeah. And
it's
so what happens is you find songs that are in your like go-to party bangers that are always one after another because you just look at it via BPM, and then
you get to know your music after a while.
Oh
right?
yeah, and then like I would have songs like
do you approach like a 1 hour set differently to a 5 hour set, like when you?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I
so
way prefer doing the long sets.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a long set at an event that's building into a dance floor. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
because when you play 1 hour, it's like, oh, I want to get this music out as quickly as possible, and you're not actually like worried, like you're not looking at like the energy in the room. You're just trying to like perform.
Yeah.
Whereas like I used to play Scarborough Beach Bar every Sunday for 8 hours. So I'd play 4 p.m. till midnight.
8 hours.
Yeah, and it was like full on.
On
hey.
Sundays?
On a Sunday, yeah.
Holy shit!
And it used to go off there. Hey, it used to be like the place to be when they were doing the
yeah.
renovations down the front, and like Lookout wasn't open yet, and it was just the place to be.
Here's a tough question for you. What do you think this is the perfect length?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Depending on what it is. If you're playing like a club show,
Yep.
or a festival, an hour and a half is perfect. Yeah. I've played festivals like an event called Snack, which is the bar pop crew. Did that at the Court Hotel, and it was like I had programmed DJs from 3 p.m. until 10, and I had like a 5 to 8 set, so 3 hours, but it was like the 3 hours where everyone rocks up and starts dancing.
Yep.
And I found that so rewarding, hey, because I like when I go and find music, I have so much music that I find and like so many edits that I want to play. And when you only get an hour, you're like, oh, you got to cut them down.
I find that like with an hour set, you get started, you get in your groove, you look down, and you look up in your hours.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you can't have fun with your set, really, because
after
like, at least for me, it takes me like 20 minutes to get comfortable with the decks.
Yeah, 100%.
And then like another 40 minutes to find my groove. So there's your hour right there, you know?
And then if you do an hour and a half, then that last half an hour, you just like, you know.
On fire, yeah.
That's it,
that's what happened. I played at Geisha the other month, and it was like they do an hour and a half sets, and like at the start you're just getting into it, and then like you look at your watch and like, oh, I'm so excited, I have 45 minutes left, and I'm in this groove already, you know. Whereas if you're playing an hour, it's like fuck, and you're like, oh, like I'm gonna play the end of the night songs already, or like what the end of this set song. So it's like,
it's
I
just
reckon
that
hour and a
extra
half.
level of stress and just
hour
the
and a half is good. And then if you're playing like a bar, like we do, we run a lot of bar rosters around town, and we normally just put the DJ on for the full night because they do it for like a bit of income on the side, and like you don't want to go and play a bar for 2 hours when it's just background tunes. So a lot of those are like
if I was to only go do like 3 hour sets at a bar or something, like what's the point? You know, like the rate that you get, it's not really worth it.
So we normally do like 4 hours up to the longest one's 9 hours, but that's if it goes until close, which it doesn't normally. So
that's all right. That's pretty good.
That's good money if you're doing 9 hours at the kind of rates that people charge.
Exactly.
Yeah. You could almost like that's how people make it a full time job.
What is the going rate for like a seasoned DJ? Because
it really depends what event you're playing. Hey,
yeah,
it's all up in the air.
I guess you sort of like.
Do you want to go first, or I'll go first?
You can go first. I'll get what your benchmark is.
I'm just trying. Like, I don't know. I'm like the dumb one in the group, right?
Yeah.
I'm the punter. You know, I don't know much about the industry.
Yeah.
So like, I'm trying to get a perspective for audiences and for punter members, people who are DJs or whatever who are listening. What like we hear a lot of stories, obviously, about the DJ life. You know, you work 3 hours on a Saturday and a Sunday, and you make $1 billion, and you fly around on a jet, and you know that stereotype
talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Like
but
Garrix.
It's not like that when you're like the 99 percentile DJ.
Yeah,
you're working for what kind of a wage? A DJ.
Yeah, so
DJ.
It depends what you're doing. If you're doing like house parties, you'd
Yeah.
be anywhere from like 60 to 100 an hour. depending on if you're working for someone or working for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You start charging more than $100 an hour for a house party, unless you're like someone who's like really decent. That's just not really kind of what you'd be doing if you were at that level. You'd probably do more of the club stuff.
Yeah.
And also, like, a lot of people don't want to like carry all the gear around and set it all up.
That's
you
true.
know. And then if you're doing bar sets, you're looking at anywhere from like 60 to 100, 120 maybe. It depends again who you are. And then the festivals literally can range from 50 to 300 an hour. But it purely depends on who you are and what your what your experience is and where you are in the industry.
Would you say as well, when it comes to like festivals and stuff like that, it kind of comes down to your brand and like how?
Yeah, exactly. If I get booked
are?
for like a headline set where someone's going to put my name and my image over something and they're going to sell tickets based on me being there, you don't charge the $100 an hour that you would if you were playing down at a bar. You know? Or like
charge top dollar.
Yeah. You charge for a headline set and then you push money into it. You bring a videographer along. You buy inflatables to throw out and make it a night. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like so varied, and it depends on so many things. So it's so hard to say this is a set rate. But I think that like generally in Perth at a venue, you're looking anywhere from like 60, probably not 60, probably 70 to 100, and then 100 plus if you've been in the game for long enough.
Yeah,
I think it's really important that DJs don't undervalue themselves.
Yeah, the thing is, if you're playing like an hour and a half set, that's not that much money compared to how much time you put in. You know,
well, it's fine if you're doing like 3 sets a night.
Well, so that's like one of the local clubs that, you know, and it's just the way it's been and stuff like that. But I think they were doing like $100 for the first hour, and then the hour after was like $50 or $60 an hour. Because then at least you're kind of making something. If you go up and do an hour set,
like a call out fee.
Set. Yeah, it's like exactly. But anything less than 60 or 80 or 80 or 100, like what you guys are saying, 100%, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, it
I
depends
just
what
want
you're
to cut
doing.
in, sorry, for just one sec. We've got a viewer. Do you know Johnny Pookins?
Yeah, I know Johnny Pookins. That's what you say, naughty boy.
You could host my party any day.
Yeah,
there you go.
I can. Yeah,
just wanted to say hi and let everybody know that we're live. So yes, you can ask questions and talk to us.
So how did you fall into the whole going over the Grace and stuff like that? 'Cause
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Crazy, hey. So I was doing one of these after balls at you know where Track Robert Slims is. Next to that, there's like a Revo Fitness. It used to be called the Hellenic Social Club or something. It was like a Greek social club, and that used to be the only place where you could like hire out a venue past midnight for minors. So all the after school balls would be there. So we used to do like Corrine, Duncraig, St. Stephen's, like all the northern suburb schools, and they would go from midnight until 6 a.m. So I would go and like bring 6 speakers, 3 subs, like just all my like gear, like not like a production company bringing like a proper setup. I'm just like, let's put all the things together and it'll be louder. And like LED bars and like 3 lighting stands and like, let's make it as sick as possible. All that shit. Yeah. Red Bull booth, like let's do it. Lasers that are illegal and like in everyone's eyes, like and then like smoke machine, bah. So I would do those. Like, I did about 15 of them in total. We did like 5 or 6 one year.
That would have been so much fun.
So much fun.
Yeah, until 6 a.m.
So much. At the time, it was the funnest gig I had done. But then, like, it would.
Did you have to do the whole ballroom dancing thing? Where
no, because these are after balls, right?
Okay,
so these are like where all the kids go and like do the naughty things that they can't do at the ball.
Right. So no teachers.
I don't condone them anymore, but like back in the day when I was young, it was like, this is sick, right? And what happened is there was a girl who went to one of those. And she had a brother who ran a bar in EOS in Greece. So I went to EOS in 2014. It was actually kind of tied together nicely. So I bought tickets to Tomorrowland the night of that after ball, and they went on sale at midnight, right? And the after ball started at 1.
I'm surprised you even got tickets.
So this was like 2014, right? So I like set the after ball up for like 3 hours in the day because there's so much shit. I did like 2 trips in my car, and then I like get up at midnight. I'm on like 3 computers trying to get tickets on my phone, and then I get tickets, just one, because I'm going by myself. Because I'm like, I don't care who's coming, I'm going. I'm like so keen to explore. I get the ticket and I'm like pumped. I go play this after ball and I'm just like, Tomorrowland, like let's do it. And then like
long big room vibes.
Yeah, just like Electro House all night.
Maxwell and Grosso and like Tiesto and all that shit.
Yeah, Hardwell, woo, woo. And then so that chick was at that event that night, and then I went to Europe later on that year, right? Like 3 months later, I went and did a Greek Island Hopper, which is like a Kentucky tour, and then went to EOS, loved it. Was like, this is where I want to go. and then just emailed like every single bar. So then after that, I went to Tomorrowland. Sick. Came back. And then
what do you mean sick? It's Tomorrowland.
like I did a bad thing and just had like a full bender for like 4 days in London before I went there.
Okay.
And then I had cold sores. I was like run down.
Did you end up going by yourself?
Yeah. Oh.
Well,
Man,
we've got to laugh
so
at that.
good. So I was in Ireland before I went to London, right? And I met this guy. I can't remember what his name is, but he was like this Polish guy. And I was like, he's like, what are you doing? I was like, we're at a Kanye West concert. And it was like, it doesn't get dark till like 11 p.m. there. So like they've got this full production, but it's like daytime. It's like, this is so weird. Why do you have all these moving heads? What's going on?
Yeah.
And I met this guy. And
America, land of excess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, this is Ireland.
Yeah, Ireland.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
mind.
Yeah, come on, catch up.
I heard the artist name and I was like, America, yeah.
Yeah, he's excessive. Maybe it was on his right. I like must have 50 moving heads.
Yeah.
Surely
then, like-
they put that shit on there, right?
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Man, you
He's
should see
probably
some of those
bought his own
riders, man.
production, like-
Far out. So then what happened is I met this guy and he was like, I was like, what are you doing, man? He's like, oh, I'm just getting ready for Tomorrowland. I'm going next week. I was like, I'm going to Tomorrowland next week. He's like, oh, sick. Like he printed like out of his wallet, pulled out this thing, and it was like the set times that he was planning to go to, laminated. And he was like, "This is my plan. This is my plan." I was like, "Bro, you laminated that shit. You're so keen."
How
So
many
like,
days? And was it a week
so
before?
3 days or
Oh, yeah,
4 days,
yeah.
3 days in a pre-party.
He's probably been like before and like knows the deal.
Yeah,
It's
so
like,
I was like,
that's it,
man, where are
yeah.
you going? He's like, oh, I'm on a party train from London. And we figured out we're on the same party train.
Fuck
And
yeah.
he was going solo, I was going solo. I was like, let's do it, sick. So I had this bender. I bought like
Mate,
a 6-man to 10.
let's talk about party trains after this. I'll let you finish, but I
Yeah.
want to talk about party trains.
I've never heard of that.
So we
but
get
yeah,
there.
go on.
I'm like super hungover and like just bended for 4 days. First time in London, like went crazy. And then like I get to this train station and he's wearing like red shorts, white top,
Of
red and white
course.
paint,
Yeah.
Polish flag on his thing. And he's like, come on, lad. And I was like, bro, I'm so hungover. I don't know if I can do this with you. And then like, it was like, it kind of like fucked my trip up, to be honest, because like I was like super run down, and then like just like I met this girl when I was in Ireland, and I was like first love, like oh my god, where is she? I'm so sad.
Right,
like
yeah.
it was just like bad timing, but it was an epic experience.
You were just
know?
plastered the whole time.
And I kind of wasn't
Emotions on
into
high.
like I wasn't really into like electro house by that point. I was
Yep.
more into like drum and bass and trap and different genres. So then like I would go see Subfocus, and there'd be like this huge tent and like 100 people in it. And then you go to like the main stage and it's like Hardwell, Back to Back, Tiesto, like
Thousands.
so many people and like fireworks and just like this massive ordeal. So it was like, it was kind of like I should have gone there 2 years beforehand when I was hell into that stuff. And yeah,
I think
it's
I
very geared
remember
toward
reading an
that.
article once about Tomorrowland and the city that it's in. What's the city called? Is it like Bonn or something in
It's
Belgium?
called Boom.
Boon?
Belgium. Boom.
Right, Boom.
Boom.
Pretty sure it's Boom. B-O-O-M. Maybe not.
I heard that that city is like got a population of like 10,000 or something people.
And they all get free tickets, I'm pretty
And then
sure.
just for Tomorrowland, it goes to like a population of like 500,000, like overnight.
Yeah.
And that's how they make all their money in that
Yeah.
city. Is just off of
So
one
sick.
event.
And it's such a good event. Like they run it so well. And like to have that many people and to manage that many people, like
Was that the year where they
Hats
had that
off.
massive like bookcase stage thing?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
no
look
shit,
at this
went-
guy.
that
Knows
was-
his
yeah.
ears.
That was one
I
of
used
the
to watch
best
the after
years.
movies like, I'm going. I'm so excited.
2012 best year.
Yeah.
It's not like I went or anything. I just saw the after.
Yeah, no, that's I think that's the first one I
Yeah.
saw as well. And
It's
it had
the
like
movies that do
it
it.
had that
Yeah.
Empire the Song like We Are Mirage song at the
Yeah.
start. We Are the People mixed with the Eric Prydz song, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I came back, messaged every bar in EOS, which I'd gone to 2 weeks beforehand, and was like, I love this island. I want to come work there. What do you like? How do I come and DJ there? This is all my stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then I actually messaged an acoustic bar, and they were like, you're a fucking idiot. We're an acoustic bar. And I was like, oh.
Sorry.
He was like, but I'm actually the manager there. Is like, oh, I manage the acoustic
Did you
bar.
tell him you can play acoustic CDJ?
I was like, I can give it a go. Well, let's do it. Whatever you need. And then the manager there was like, oh, you're an idiot, but like I'm gonna open my own bar next year. So like, send me your stuff. So I sent him a mix, and then he was like asking his family about like who. Like and asking all his mates which DJ should I get, and then his sister was like, "Oh, that guy DJ my afterball, he was fucking sick. Get that guy." So then I literally got it because like
No
of that
shit,
link
just
up.
the connections
I might have got it
and
anyway,
just-
but that was like what pushed it over the edge, you know, because it's
Yeah.
weird afterball. So then like I went there 2015 and did 4 months straight, and it was like hands down the best 4 months of my life. Hey,
Can you look up what it's iOS? How do you
EOS,
say-
iOS.
EOS. Can you look it up and see the sites? Because is that the place where it's got like all the white buildings and like the nice coast and stuff? Or
Yeah,
is that...
so Greece is all like Greece. They actually have like a law there that you can't paint your building anything besides white and blue.
Really?
So like, the guy
That's
selling
kinda
white
cool.
paint in Greece is making a killing because it's like
That's
all
it,
white. Yeah,
Oh,
like,
no
and the main beach
shit.
there. So the main beach club down there is called Far Out Beach Club, and they've started like doing heaps of stuff now where they do like heaps of epic international artists. Whereas when I first went there, it was like 1 or 2 over the season.
Yeah.
Now it's like every week they've got someone decent like Nervo, the Trans Guy Marlowe, Will Sparks went over there a few times.
This is what
Holy
everybody
crap.
assumes
Sparks,
Greece is like,
Marlowe,
right?
Nervo. Wow.
So then like that's the day club, right? And then at night time, see that photo there of the guy standing on the rock? That's
Yeah,
Harmony
up.
EOS
Oh, right.
on the right, yeah.
Down.
Like
Left,
literally
left.
yeah.
There you go.
So that's like the rocks right next to Harmony, I'm pretty sure.
That water, that looks like Coral
Dude,
Bay
it's
water.
beautiful, hey. If you look up and see that big like beach club, if you go down, just there, on the right? No, on the right.
Yeah, up.
yeah, that-
there you go.
That's Pathos Beach Club. So that's like a sunset lounge, and it's like
That's amazing.
It's like next
Everybody who
level,
doesn't know,
hey.
I have to like look like around the corner from the TV, so that's why that's so awkward.
So what happens is your typical day, right? I'll run you through it. So your typical day starts about 2 p.m.
Yeah.
That's because the main breakfast place where all the Aussies go closes at 3, or it used to. So you'd be like, I've got to get up and have breakfast at 2 p.m. Then you go have brekkie, and then you might have like a cocktail or a mimosa. You play some backgammon, and then you
Some backgammon.
yeah, huge on the island. Then you go down to the main beach, which is like on the other side of the port from here, and then everyone like goes to Harmony and has like lunch, which is like this Mexican restaurant. This awesome chick runs there, and then they do like €5 staff meals. So if you live on the island and you're a staff member of any of the bars on the island, you get €5
is
staff
not
meals.
bad, like-
So good, especially because like the average price or the average wage of someone who works in a bar or a cafe there is €5 an hour. Yeah, so like
No
$8
shit.
an hour. And you'd work like I was getting paid.
I'm not surprised though. I went to the UK and like average wage there is like £7, which is
gonna get
probably
one.
like
But they work
€8 or
on
€9.
on like a lot of tips and stuff, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Whereas this was like literally just like you get paid like €5. You work for 4 hours, 5 hours. So people are getting paid like €25 a day,
Yeah.
and they're spending like anywhere from €5 to €15 on accommodation. And then they do the staff meal, cook up pastas, whatever they want. People come there with like literally €100 spare and try and save money there, and it's like it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, they're like leaving and they're like, my boss hasn't paid me. I can't pay for my ferry. I can't leave. It's just like, why are you going so like? Why are you cutting it so fine? And then you go to the main beach and all the girls.
People live like that though. Like
Yeah,
paycheck
hats off to
paycheck,
them. Like
yeah.
that's like if you can live that lifestyle, then awesome. And they have the best times in their life because they don't have worries and they just go and do it.
Yep.
Whereas people are like, oh, I don't know if I can afford it. It's like those aren't the people that end up in awesome situations. And
It's all about taking risks.
yeah, 100%.
But if you don't take risks, then how do you know?
Exactly.
And you go.
People always say to me like, "Oh, you're so lucky you get to go to Greece every year." I was like, "If you want to come, I will get you a job like that."
Can I come
And
to
they're like,
Greece?
"Oh, 100%. I'm going next year. Let's do
Holy
it."
shit!
Yeah.
I want to go to Greece.
So like,
You wanna come
man.
to
So then they're like, I'm like,
Let's
okay,
all go to
cool.
Greece.
Let's do it. Let's lock it in. What are you doing? Like June to September. I'll get you a job. And they're like, oh, like okay, yeah. Let me just figure it out. Like, what am I going to do
Yeah,
with
they
uni
flake
or
out.
work, or
Yeah.
I got to quit my job, or like, how am I going to do it? And then like, literally, out of everyone that I've told, there's only been one person who's come and done a full season, and she said it was the best 4 months of her life. She got there, and I was like, shit, I better find her a
I can
job.
imagine. Like, there's a lot of apprehension with those kinds of things.
But
like,
you go, man. People go like, and it's just like such an amazing experience
just gotta
and
step
such
out,
good
yeah.
culture. You imagine going to breakfast, lunch, and dinner with friends every day for 4 months,
Yep.
and getting like shit faced with them every night.
Yep.
So much
It
fun.
is an eye opener. That's the whole thing.
So
of it.
yeah, so much like that. So then after you like go to that Mexican restaurant, you might do a bit of promo on the beach. So if you work as like a bartender or like they're called floor whores, but we call them atmosphere technicians.
Atmosphere
So they're-
technician.
So they're
That's
just people who
amazing.
go around and like get drunk and get guys to buy them drinks and like flirt with people and like have
Yeah.
make the bar fun,
Yep.
So they go and like
Almost like paid actors.
pretty much,
Yeah.
but they get shit faced.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny. So then like what happens is they go and do a bit of kamaki, which is like promo, where they go out to the beach and go, oh, what are you guys doing tonight? Like you should come to this bar.
Yep.
And then the main beach club, not that one, the other one, Far Out Beach Club, opens up about 3, 4 or 5 p.m. And then they start like full kicking off because they go till 10 p.m. pretty sure. So it's like, it just gets like super hectic.
So like at 10 p.m. it closes then?
That place closes. So it's like from like 7 p.m. it starts to really kick off. If you go to my Facebook page, or even...
How long is like what's the latest?
And go to videos.
What's the latest that a bar can open up over?
So that's just a day club. So the day club,
day club, yeah.
If you scroll down,
do they have nightclubs and stuff like that at all over?
Yeah. But they're all pretty tiny. Keep going down quite a bit. Can the people see this?
Yeah,
they can't see what's on the TV now. Right now, it's just cameras on you.
Okay, nice.
But yes, they can see what's on here. I'll change the scene.
Okay, cool. So if you go up a bit, yeah, and then on the left, that one there, click that.
Oh shit!
This is Far Out.
I'm not going to play the music. I hope you're fine with that.
Yeah, so that's the
no shit. Look at you guys.
Look at me. I'm like, sick.
Dude, you'll have so much
look
fun.
at me.
Let's play that one more time, just because
that's amazing. Holy crap! So,
man, I nearly fell off that like little stage so many times. Hey, my parents came
on.
on
Playing here, by the way,
like full like. I think I'm playing Vinovici, like full like psytrance.
Right.
You could only play like 2 or 3 psytrance songs, and then you have to go back to Electro House or
right.
like big room. It's like full Tomorrowland vibes there. Hey, so I'm sitting there like not really into the music anymore, but like the atmosphere is so.
Did they
intense.
tell you a format of what you could and could not?
Yeah, they're pretty strict on it. Yeah, but like they have let a lot of the younger dudes start up and play now. And
is it old school stuff at all? Or is
nah,
it all
it's
just
like all
new,
like
housey...
it's what you'd imagine at Tomorrowland, like Harwell Chester, like and everyone's like so my parents came one year and they came to that and like got shit faced. My mum like made friends with a lighting guy and was like pressing the CO2 button and stuff. It was so funny, man.
That would have been amazing.
So that place is open till 10, and then like everyone like walks up the village or like up the road to the village, and the village opens at like 10 or 11. So the village, there's like 52 bars in the village, and they're all like a bar the size of this room would be like standard.
No shit.
And they're just like all hell different, unique, and all packed. And there's like Kentucky Med Experience bus about, all these different groups like running around everywhere.
Similar sort of vibes to Bali, because there's a lot of those small clubs.
Way smaller though, yeah. But they're not on like a road with cars. It's all like walking streets.
Right.
So it's like the whole street is like just packed with people, and like everything, everywhere you go, there's atmosphere. You know, it's not like
it doesn't stagnate.
If you're going in peak season,
have you been to Ibiza?
No, I haven't actually been.
Right. It would be interesting to compare the pair.
Yeah, I think people say that EOS is like the cheap, small version of Ibiza. Right.
Which is perfect.
Yeah. And like, it's literally like €2, €3 for a beer. Like it's decent.
What,
and it's
€1 for a bowl of water?
So I worked at a shot bar, and it was like, we had 110 different types of shot. It was called Alt Bar. Shout out to Alt Bar. Love that.
If you hadn't to go to EOS?
Yeah, go to Alt Bar. It's epic. Yeah. So they'd have 110 different kinds of shots, and they like light the bar on fire, and you can like toast marshmallows, and it's sick.
That sounds pretty cool.
They've got a sick website that shows you all their shots, actually, if you find out, altbareos.com. So that's the place that I worked at, and then they went on to open another bar called Escobar, which a few Perth guys actually played at. What happened is like the first year I went, it went epic, and then I was like, all my mates like, man, I want to come and play here. So then I like got a few of them to come over. Yeah. And then so like Lewis Martin came over and did some photos. And
I met him on Saturday night, right?
He was there on Sunday. Yeah. And then
what was the website again?
if you go and like click on website on the right, where that Google My Business thing is, on the far right of the screen.
Oh yeah, I see. I can't find my mouse cursor right now.
There it is. Up. Left.
Website.
There you go.
We're getting there.
The guidance for.
I'm pretty sure it's just this is it. Yeah. So that just goes through all the different types of shooters and stuff, not just tequila. Yeah. So
Holy shit.
So every night we'll do staff shotties, and like they would get like
7-shot challenge.
They'd get like 20 shots in the bar for all the staff, and we'd all just get shit faced. And what
happens?
happens?
You also get a tea tank or beach bag. Jesus.
Yeah, you get like a little t-shirt.
Your liver would have loved you. Like...
Oh man! So I came back, and so I did 6 months overseas. Came back, did a liver function test. You're supposed to be between 0 and 45, and I was like a 68, and I was like, that's not good.
Yeah,
so I did a month off drinking, and then got it down to a 38, and I was like, good to go.
Good to go back up again.
Let's get shit faced and celebrate. Woo.
Oh shit.
So then like so all the bars open. So that opened at 10, or I think it's 10 or 11, and then like I would play there till 4, and then there's a club there that doesn't open till 2:30 in the morning.
I'm sorry,
I'm just 8.
I'm just confused. I've seen something that is me question everything.
Go up.
Fuck toys.
Oh yeah,
Fuck toys, yeah.
Deep throat, honey, monkey, Jack in your box, Oppo cherry, quick fuck,
All the good stuff.
screaming
Big
orgasms.
Can you imagine
Slippery nipple,
Can you imagine
toy
the
boy.
atmosphere technicians talking about that kind of stuff?
That's it. Zoe, come here. I'll give you.
Would
a
you
fuck
like
toy.
a quick fuck?
Man, and
Only
we used to
€3.
live like the first time I lived there, I lived in my own spot, but then the second year I lived in like a little apartment complex. But it's like, don't picture like an apartment, picture like old rundown houses because all the accom there is so old. So I lived with like 6 other dudes who all like worked in the same bars, and our bar was 20 steps to our front door.
No
So it was
shit.
like, if you need to go to the
Just open the
toilet,
door,
grab
there you
anything,
go.
like you're so close, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, it was absolute chaos in there. Hey, it
That
was
sounds
so much
absolutely
fun.
amazing.
Dude.
Though.
If you like get a time, not now, but when you get the time, look at the Alt Bar after movie. And Lost Boys Bar did an awesome after movie as well. The island's epic as well, like so good to explore and run around. So yeah, I did that the first year in 2000. So I went there in 2014 and then did the full season 2015. And then from there, kind of just met different people. So we did. I met this chick who worked for Kentucky, and then I was like, I did like a corporate event for Kentucky in Budapest.
So that was for the actual Kentucky company.
For like Mr. Kentucky, like the
Oh,
guy.
no
I met the
shit.
guy who founded the Kentucky.
Right.
He was like 98 or something. I actually have no idea how old he was just old. And then like
Holy
his
shit.
son was the GM, and they flew me out and we did like a river cruise where we were DJing on like the main river through Budapest, and it was like super nice, like super beautiful. And then we did like a little ball that night.
Can you
and
look up Budapest as well?
Budapest, yeah, get that
Show
going.
us the sights.
If you scroll down like 4 years on my Instagram, there's a photo of it. Yeah, if you look at like so
that's-
one side of it's called Buddha and the other is called Pesh.
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So that big building on the bottom right, that is like where we cruised past that on the river cruise. It was so nice.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Nice kind of shot of the.
Yeah, that was the vibe.
So
So then I
cool.
met all the Kentucky. So it was pretty much, it was a function or a weekend where they went to a whole bunch of like seminars and like presentations, and it was all the best Kentucky reps and people who work for Kentucky around the world all got flown there. So I met this guy called Andrew, and he is like one of the sales reps for Kentucky over in Sydney. And then a couple of years later, he's like, "Hey man, like, have you ever thought about like running your own tour?" And I was like,
What?
please explain.
Yeah, go
He's
on.
like, "Why don't we partner up and then we can run like a tour that you program, you figure out where you want to go. We get the bus and organize all the hotels and organize all the pastimes and the activities."
So you got to choose where you want.
Yeah, and then we do. So we
shit.
did it. It was called Shantiki.
No
Wow.
shit.
It's named after.
Holy
you.
fuck.
Yeah, man. So
Go
fun.
on.
There's a full after movie for it too. If you like.
So where'd you go though? Like,
So we did like, it was Greek islands. This is 2018. So Greek islands through
Is this
the
on your
Balkans.
Facebook as well?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, I might have got taken down because of copyright for the music, but
Good
it's
old
on.
copyright.
I'm pretty sure it's on our Vimeo or my Vimeo or my.
so you went to the Greek islands and where else?
Yeah.
Sorry. Have your drink.
All good. Bit parched.
Yeah.
So we went to the Greek islands, and then like we had like about 30 people on board, and then they all met in the Greek islands. We got like a VIP booth at Far Out and like showed them that experience. Then went like hired a boat, went around, showed them all the island and stuff. And then we got to Greece, to Athens, the capital, and then the bus picked us up and we went up through the Balkans. So like Albania, Bosnia, Croatia, Serbia,
shit.
like all the Far East. What's up, guys? Hey, that's me. That's
Found the video, by the
way.
But really, like through Bosnia and Albania. like,
yeah.
did he go into Bosnia? At
Yeah,
all?
like we were on a bus. Like,
Yeah,
so we
like-
like stayed in Triana or something, and then
Are we still talking about Shantiki?
yeah, play.
Okay,
I
this
reckon play it while I'm.
I'll play the video in the background while you guys are talking.
Yeah,
about it.
perfect. So that's
Because-
Greece. Oh, what a time! So that's Harmony, that Mexican
That's
restaurant.
amazing. That's so cool.
So what happened is we went up through the Balkans, and then I played a set in Croatia and a set in Albania, and I'm pretty sure this might be the one where I'm explaining it. If you go back and go to like,
Yeah, there's a bit with you at the start.
yeah, this is the one where I'm explaining what the tour's all about. But we
Unfortunately, I
actually got a
can't
video.
play with. We'll
Yeah,
just
that's
get
cool.
copyright strikes.
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
away.
So there's actually a video after this where
Pause it. What's all this? Like,
So this is like we were going to Budapest to go to
It's here.
is that like a festival?
yeah, a
or-
festival called the Get Festival, which is like on an island in the river of Budapest,
Oh,
and
shit.
all these artists were playing. So like the idea was, come to Greece, party with us. We'll go on a bus. I'll DJ in Croatia and Albania and all these places along the way. Everyone gets VIP and like
Here we go.
So wait,
bottle
pause it
service.
just quickly.
There you go.
So wait, King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard was on that. Gorillaz was on that. Kendrick Lamar was on. Like,
Mendes,
did you
Lana
get to
Darvell,
meet- did you
Lana
get to
Del Rey.
Designer.
meet them at all?
Nah, so we
Oh,
I didn't play it
let's
to
say-
get. It was like we were going there as punters. You know?
Okay, yeah,
I
yeah,
tried
yeah.
to, man. Like I hit them up so
Yeah.
many times. I was like, hey,
Yeah,
like,
please, Gorillaz.
added all like the people from like sales and marketing on LinkedIn, like trying to like get in some way, but like no chance.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the tour we went on. That was like the kind of route. And yeah, it was epic. Hey, I had
That would
like
have been
30 mates,
amazing.
and then we got like a big Airbnb in Budapest and had a
But see,
big
the
old
thing
party.
is, though, it's like you're not there for a holiday. You're technically working, but it's the Shantiki. Like, that's so cool.
I was not working.
Yeah.
So there you
But
go. That's,
you did get paid for it, though, right?
Nah, so like we were working on commission base and we didn't
Okay.
we needed to sell way more to actually hit that. So I think
Yep.
that like I ended up spending as much money on it as everyone else who paid to be there because
Okay.
I had to like do all the promo for it and stuff.
That's still
Doesn't matter.
fair,
It was
though.
like a holiday for you
That's it,
anyway.
right?
Right?
Yeah, no, it was sick. And we
It's
were
a
thinking about doing it
Shantiki.
again, but then like, because what happened is I was like, when he hit me up and said, do you want to do this? I was like, yeah, this sounds sick.
Mm.
Yeah, see, it was pretty cheap. Like it was
Print
$207.
your own tent.
$2,700, and you get like 18 days of like comm and partying and like
For 18 days, that's amazing.
yeah, and then there was optional extras you could do on top of that if you wanted to. There's me with my long hair, sick. Yeah, if you go like further down in our Vimeo, there should be another one of me actually the after movie. I'm pretty sure it's on there, or it might be on our on my press pack. Yeah, so it was epic. Yeah.
So
we were gonna
what's-
run. So yeah, what happened is like I put a thing out when he said, "Do you want to do this?" I was like, "Yeah, that sounds sick," and I was just like putting a feeler out to see who would do it.
Yeah, I don't think the after video's on here.
What are you on your Vimeo?
Yeah, I'm on your video.
Yeah, it might be on my Facebook page actually. Probably one of the
So what was
the most recent
Albania and Hungary and
sick,
Serbia?
man.
Like,
So nice. Serbia, we went to this weird club for I had my 20.
was it just like industrial techno and just like?
No, we went to like some weird R&B hip hop night. It was like,
Really?
and they have all these like nightclubs which are like barges on the river.
Was it like English R&B or was it like their own version?
Bit of both.
R&B?
Yeah, I
okay.
can't remember. It was like a lot
Yeah,
of drinks.
it's just
that
a
night.
lot of alcohol.
I had my birthday in Serbia that year, so
No
it was like,
shit.
yeah. I used to have my
That's fucking
birthday every
sick.
year in EOS at the nude beach, and we'd do like nude walking races and like torpedoes and stuff. It was so funny. And then like this year was the first year in 4 years I had it somewhere else.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it
Holy
was
crap.
epic. Hey, and it's a part of Europe that a lot of people don't go to. They go to like
Yeah.
they go to France, Italy,
Ibiza,
Spain,
yeah.
Greece, yeah, all those places, but they don't really go to the Balkans as readily.
It's the same video, I think. This one.
Yeah, they're both on my Facebook, so if you keep going up to the top, it should be there. Anyway, yeah, it was
Oh,
epic.
here we
And
go.
we'll,
Shantiki 2018 movie.
there you go.
Oh, copyright.
I wonder if
How many
it's up to
seconds
stop
can you
that.
have before
I think it's like
cuts you
2 or
off?
3, but they've changed the thing.
It doesn't
now.
matter. They'll just.
Yeah, if you mute
they'll
that,
flag us.
it's like
It looks like we're still online, so.
yeah, woo. If you mute that,
Yes.
yeah, this is a video that my mate Donny Boy made. This is like all the places he went to and stuff. So Randall made the video, Donny did the photos. Yes, this is all footage from the tour and all the crew we had. It was sick.
But that's so good because it's like when you put yourself out there, like then you would have learned
Yeah.
so much from doing that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I was considering running again. You can skip this bit. This is I'm just sitting on a chair talking about it.
No, we're watching it now.
Boy,
It's just me
look
saying
where I
that,
am.
though.
Look at me, I'm on the beach.
I'm on the beach.
I'm on Coastport
Wait,
Beach.
can you speak over the top so we know what's going on?
I'm just going, hey guys, how you doing? My name's Shann. I'm a DJ from right here in beautiful Perth, Australia.
G'day, guys.
I'm just pretty much saying you should come to this tour. We might do it next year. I'll let you know maybe. So we were gonna. I put the word out, before we ran it, and I had like about 200 people that were like, "I'm coming on this tour, bro." And then like,
Yo, look at the production.
I went it out. I put all the stuff together, put the packages together, and then like no one signed up at the start, and I was like, far out. And then like we actually eventually got there, but it was pretty stressful trying to get people to get involved because it was like. At the start, I was like psyched on it. I was like, "You should come; it'll be so sick." And then, like after like 2 months, when we didn't have that many numbers, I was like, "You should come, please!" Like, and it just changed.
I wonder
the
if it's
mentality.
similar to like events because when you book an event,
Yeah.
like the
Dude.
ticket sales don't happen until the last week.
Yeah, but you
right,
think
yeah.
about it, like you, I had people that were like, "Oh, I wanted to come, but now I've got a baby," like, or like now I've got a full-time job or whatever. So, what happened is like, you go to an event, right? And you ask someone, or like an event promoter will be like, hey, there's an event coming up. Here's the DJs. Here's the vibe. It's going to cost you $40-50. Do you want to pay $50 for that? And they'll go like, oh yeah, maybe. And then someone else says they're going, and then they buy tickets. Whereas if you're like, hey, do you want to fly to Europe on your own dollar and then spend $2,500 on a tour? Yep. It's like a lot more of a commitment than like a Saturday night at
it's like a $3,000-$4,000
factory or something. You know, it's like a lot. So I understand, like, if I would do it again, I would do it a lot differently. But it was like, yeah, it was epic in the end.
And did you end up getting?
Red 30.
Are they all Australians?
Yeah. We targeted Australians. Okay. We pretty much targeted Perth, but we had a few crew from over east as well. And that was Roz. She was like the tour manager. She was awesome. So I actually had her on like a 1 month tour that I did like 2 years beforehand.
Yeah, maybe it's best to target outside of Perth as well.
Next
time, all of Australia.
Yeah. Well, I was going to, and then I was like thinking about doing it again, and then I was like, the amount of stress that like I had to go through to like make this one happen.
Yeah.
Was just like not worth it.
I mean,
I wanted like, the thing is like, this was kind of the year where Streamline took off as well, my DJ agency.
If I had money, I'd go on something.
Yeah. This is the year that the Streamline stuff took off. So then because of that, I was like, you know, the other 10 months of the year when I was in Perth became a lot more stressful and a lot more involved.
It was a good segue to talk about Streamline.
Yeah. And then like I would want that two or 3 months off to like just relax, not run a tour like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of work.
Yeah. No. And I think it was also around the time where like I went from like really enjoying partying to like it becoming more of like part of my job, and I really started to enjoy like the yoga and like chilling out and like having an active lifestyle and like different things.
When did you figure out that it was going to be like a full-time kind of thing though? Because like that looks like a full-time thing right there. Like, it looks like you're just born bred to do it.
So yeah, look at me with my like 4 buttons undone on the beach.
Just like,
come to Europe, it'll be sick.
Giving off the tropical beachy vibes, aren't you?
Straight up.
Yeah. So what happened is like I finished school and then I was DJing at that point, just like house parties, and then I did a double in radio and sound at Murdoch, and I wanted to be on air doing radio. And then the year that I finished that was the year that I first went to Greece. Excuse me, I'm so gassy from these beers, mate. I know exactly what you're talking about now, exactly. Ninja.
little gassy here.
And then so I went there 2014, and then 2015 I came back. I was like, cool, like I've done the full 6 month holiday. Like I should probably start taking my life more seriously. So I got a job at Southern Cross Stereo, which is Hit 929 and Mix 94.5.
Yeah.
I started working there on the street team and like doing like we'll go down like, hey guys, we're down at the South Beach today handing out icy bowls. Come and get one. Blah, blah, blah. And like there was some awesome events we did there, and like really good fun to work for that company. Awesome company to work for. Such a good like mentality. It was the first time that I actually had like work colleagues, because I'd always just like DJ'd for myself,
like
you know.
So
I was like, this is so exciting. I get to like drive the Jeep that's branded and like talk to someone about my day, not like just like some random venue manager be like, hey man, like how you doing? Like, and it's like funny when you do that. You go from venue to venue and like all these different people. You meet so many people, but you don't have like a consistent relationship with that many people. And because you take up your Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights DJing, that's all the social hours of the week. So like it's hard to keep your actual friendships going as well. So
I find the exact same thing. Just playing here and playing there. It's like, I'll go hang out with these people now, and then I'll go hang out with them.
You're like very fluid with who you hang out with. Obviously you got like some like really close best mates, but like you're not part. I find I'm not really part of like a group anymore, because I couldn't go for so many times.
Floater, a social butterfly.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, which is like fun, and I'm happy to do it. And like I used to love like going to festivals and just running by myself and like seeing all these people. But now that my lifestyle's kind of changed and I'm not like as into like partying and getting on it, I kind of like miss that. So I'm like trying to dial back a bit and like take a few Fridays and Saturdays off and like reconnect with some mates, which has been epic. And especially with coronavirus, like that was such a nice opportunity
I was just
to
about
do
to
that.
say the same thing for me to an extent. Well, it's just like since coronavirus happened, it's like, holy shit, I can actually go out and weekends. Even though I already enjoyed it.
Got invited to a party and I was like, I'm not DJing that night.
This is like, shit, get the boys up. Let's go drinks. Let's go drink.
Yeah. So then like I worked at the radio station for like 2 or so years, went back to Greece. And then that year I came back and I was like, what am I going to do? And like I'd already started like booking in a few DJs for events that I couldn't do myself, because I was like referring away more work than I was actually doing. Because like you work, if you're doing a full event, like one event per night, I would have like 3 requests for one night, and like I could only ever do like 1, maybe 2 if it was like 2 different club sets. So I was just referring my mates forever, and then I was like, I'm referring like more business than I'm actually like doing myself. Like
Might
this
as
is
well
this
start
is kind of
looking at
stupid,
start
right?
an
So I
actual-
started
yeah.
like getting some of my mates to like work for me just through a sole trader AVN, and then got back from Greece in 2017 or 2016 I think it was, and then my dad sat me aside and he goes like, oh, what happened is like I got a gig DJing for the Music Run, which is like a 5K fun run in Asia, and the first one was in the Philippines, so they flew me out, DJed in front of like 6,000 or 7,000 people. We did this mannequin challenge thing, so if you go on our
Were you
on-
nervous going up in front of
so and they're all Malaysians, like I don't know what they want to
Yeah,
listen to. I'm
exactly.
trying to
It's
listen to
like-
like Malaysia top
It's
50
like,
and I'm
wanna
like
hear
I don't know
TLC?
any of these
Like,
songs,
no
like
Scrubs?
and the song that like went off is like Katy Perry Firework, and I'm just
Oh,
like,
really?
like so funny.
What was something you want me to look up?
Did it have- did you
On
have
my
fireworks?
Facebook page
Yep.
and videos, there should be like a mannequin challenge, the world's largest mannequin challenge, 2017, 16 maybe, 17.
I'll have a look for it.
Yeah,
The Philippines though as well. So I mean, you'd
Yeah,
already been to
Manila.
Greece by then. And you're just like, yeah, I can go solo that as
I
well.
was like,
right?
yeah, sick.
Yeah,
And then
let's
then
go
you meet the people who
Philippines.
are also working that event, and then
Mm.
like, so I got that gig through a guy called Sammy Warwork who was emceeing Oktoberfest. So like I got Oktoberfest because I met. So this is the chain, right? So this is like why you just need to say yes to everything and put yourself out there. So I got the gig at Sneaky because I went there. I was like, I want to promote for you, right? And then I started DJing in the top room there, and the guy who used to DJ before me was mates with this other guy called Ross, right? And Ross is one of the guys who runs Oktoberfest. So I just met, this is the mannequin challenge. So this is the Philippines.
No shit.
So this is when the mannequin challenge was huge. So we got like 7,000 people to hold still, which is like pretty impressive if you ask me. Like,
At a festival,
it's
yeah.
very
look at them all, but
impressive.
they're all sober. Like they're all very well
But
behaved.
how did he even do it? He's like, everyone, we're going to do the mannequin challenge soon.
Pretty
I need you
much,
all to
yeah.
Stop.
I
Like-
wasn't emceeing. They had Sammy Warwork doing the emceeing for the day, so I was just the DJ.
Because
So
it
it was
wasn't
like,
actually in Malaysians, like when the guy was emceeing, he was
there was two. There was a local tongue, and then there was
yeah,
and
like
there
English
was
and then-
English.
yeah,
Yeah, but
like-
they all speak
yeah.
English. Yeah.
yeah.
So then what happened is I went there with another guy called Sam Withers who was DJing that as well, who went on to be on Love Island. So
Really?
well, I'm amazed with him, but like, yeah, it was so
No
funny.
shit.
And we're all just like, hey, how you going, bro? You're on Love
Yeah, you're on
Island. Like,
Love
you're on my fucking
Island.
TV.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I
I kind of feel sorry for anyone who goes on Love Island.
I think it. Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
like one of those things that I'm a celebrity and get me out of here. It's like
You literally go on TV for people to bitch about you. Like,
that's it.
Yeah,
Or Big
I don't know if I'd want
Brother,
to put
like-
myself in front of that kind of like.
absolutely
Nah,
not.
social.
Too
Although
much
I can
publicity
imagine
to
you would do
extent.
well.
You reckon?
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah.
man.
You got the chiseled face and the
Just smile, be a nice person, be myself.
You're a DJ too. That's like a win-win. Like,
Yeah, but they'll be like, block and DJ, like, unreliable, like, he's not ready for that. Not that people go on Love Island for love.
Yeah, that's exactly
Love
right.
Island probably not for me.
Nah, nah, not
I don't
for me
really, I don't
either.
think I've like the rig to go on Love Island either. It's all very superficial.
Very superficial.
So what happened is like, guy at Sneaky was the guy running Oktoberfest. He was like, yeah, you should come play. Played like the opening set for their event called Foreshore New Year's Eve. Then started playing Oktoberfest, and then did the tour and met Sammy, who was emceeing that year. And then he was like, you need to come do Manila. So then got gigged in, like got a booking in the Philippines. And then I went on with the same company to do one in KL last year, which was 20,000 people.
KL?
KL in
Lumpur?
Malaysia. Yeah.
In Malaysia. Never heard of it.
Yeah, I think I said Malaysian
Never heard
before.
of
So
Kuala
Manila
Lumpur?
is the Philippines and KL is in Malaysia.
Yeah, yep.
Wait, Alex, you've never heard of KL?
It's like one of the common stopover places for like flights to Europe and
It's
Really?
the capital of Malaysia.
All right, Mr. Smarties. Like, can you look it up, Mitch? Jaimie?
Kuala Lumpur. It's called Kuala Lumpur.
I've heard of Kuala. Yeah, I've heard of Kuala
So
Lumpur.
KL is just
Is-
the
KL is
abbreviation.
short for Kuala
Okay.
Lumpur.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So
But I don't really know where Kuala Lumpur is though on the world.
Fair enough.
My
I
bad.
will.
get
I'll
the
sort
world
that
map
one
up.
out for
Let's
you.
get it going.
Let's have a look.
Educate. So then I did like the
Wow.
show for them there, and then we did a show in India as well, which was like
You've been to India
crazy.
as well.
Yeah,
What was India like?
yeah, it was sick. Isn't
Like,
that, mate?
is it true what they say where it's like it's pretty dirty over there?
So dirty, man. You know when you go past a bad smell in Bali and you're like, whoa, that's what
Yeah.
India smells like everywhere. And then you go past a bad smell in India and
There
you're
you
like,
go, Alex. There's Kuala
Whoa.
Lumpur.
So it's just what, just above Singapore?
above
no
Singapore,
shit?
yeah.
No shit. Have you been to Singapore?
Yeah, I have actually, yeah.
And
Yeah, I went there before.
Singapore's here, and it's
It's just down the
probably about a
road.
4 to 8 hour drive to Kuala Lumpur.
Did the
that looks
maths.
like 3.5.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool though.
Yeah, so we did, and then we did India. So Kuala Lumpur was last year, and then we did India in like
I love
2017.
Kuala
I
Lumpur.
think.
I've been a few times. Where have you played in KL, by the way?
It was It was at the National Sports Stadium.
Okay.
It was like a once-off sport event, so it was like 20,000 people.
So you've never played any of the clubs?
20,000
No,
people.
I think we went to Wicked or something.
Right.
I met the guy there, and he was
The
like,
biggest club they have there, I think, is called Zook.
"Yeah,"
And it's like I went there on a Wednesday night, and oh my god, it went off.
yeah,
Like off its chop on a Wednesday night.
Well,
And
how many people do you reckon?
Well, the thing is, like, it's like a super club, so there's like 7 or 8 different dance floors over 4 levels.
yeah.
And on a Wednesday night, they only open the one. It's obviously there's not enough people going. So, but it was still like rammed full of people and like going off, and they were playing like bass house and trap and really heavy stuff, which I wasn't expecting in Malaysia. But
Yeah, it's crazy when you go to a new town or a new city and you like go to one of their clubs and you're like, whoa, like everyone in the world parties like so hard.
Everyone does it.
Like, everywhere you
sudden
go, there's like
realization.
drunk people everywhere.
yeah,
How would you?
they do it better though. They do drunk better than
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, for sure. We went to
Makes it
a
more
night
rowdy.
there after, or like the first night I got there with my mate. My mates live there actually, and we went because Mash and Kutcher was playing,
Oh,
and
shit.
we like knew them.
Well, you
so,
made some Mash and Kutcher.
well, like
I was about
not
to say
directly.
that.
I know them, yeah, but I know them through this other guy who used to
Yeah.
work with them because he ran a clothing brand, and they were like, yeah, come, like we've got like a bottle and like we've got a table with like 6 bottles and we're just gonna get fucked up. So then we went there and like got so blind at this like private club.
You've
It was a
had
bit weird.
quite the life. Haven't
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been full on.
Let's really dial into your booking company.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty
Um,
Streamline.
sounds good.
Because we've been only
we've
got.
been talking about the glamorous life and not
Yeah,
like
that's it,
my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's always interesting to talk about those stories though, because we like to compare the Perth nightlife scene to other places in the world.
Well,
Yeah.
just before we start going to Streamline,
Yeah.
there was one thing I wanted to bring up though.
Go ahead.
How would you compare like just the music style, the culture, everything? Because Perth is so old school to an
That's
extent.
so unique in its
Yeah.
music. I feel like when I was younger, I was like playing a lot of like the more bassy nights, and I was like more going to like events like Inhibit events, and I can't even remember what we were going to, like Syrup, which was like this kind of tech house or housey kind of party, and like more underground music, a lot of drum and bass, a lot of bass house and stuff. And then I kind of got into playing a lot more of the commercial stuff and the party jams and stuff. And it's so weird because people were booking me for that and then booking me for like underground stuff and then booking me for like yoga events. You know? I was like, I'm like, you book me, what do you like? I'd be like, what do you want me to play?
Yeah,
Whereas
that's
like
it.
if you book an artist who has like their own like vibe, then they obviously just play that. So
I
I
think
think
you've like cornered a section of the market with that. Like, do you have people booking you because of that, or are they booking you still and asking?
No, I think that like it depends like what the event is. Obviously, if someone books me for something and I know what the event is, it's pretty easy for me to go like, cool, I know what I'm gonna play there.
True.
But then sometimes like I get booked for like some random ass event and I'm like, what kind of nut is this? Like,
Just like,
what
you
is
know,
this? Or generally because I
rocking
run my
beats.
own bookings, like if I was to play like an hour set somewhere, it's not really worth my while compared to playing like a 6
Exactly,
hour
yeah.
set somewhere else, you know.
Yeah.
Or I might just want to take the night off because it's been too much.
Yeah.
So how do you find business then, or Streamline?
Now, like post Rona.
Well, we can talk about post Rona, but I'm just trying to get an idea of how a booking agency.
Or how do I find the actual
Yeah.
work? Okay, the leads, right? So, like, because I've like got a little bit of a following on Instagram and like people kind of know who I am, and I've done so many events in the past.
It's the same with most bookers though, like because we've been talking about the industry being like that, like who you know, not what you know
100%.
necessarily. Yeah.
So
it's probably like
yeah.
80% word of mouth, 20% everything else. And like, so that I make an effort to like always post on my Instagram story and like let everyone know that I'm DJing so that I'm at the forefront of their mind. So when their friend goes, oh, I need a wedding DJ, or like I need a DJ for my 18th, and they go, oh, like my mate DJs, he runs a booking agency, whatever. And then it comes to me, you know. And then it's really like, because we also do like pretty much everything that you need. If you have a DJ for any occasion, we can definitely sort you out, you know. So it's
What's your biggest market at the moment? Post COVID. Tough questions.
Probably weddings, because all the weddings, we had like 25 weddings that got postponed when coronavirus hit. So then all those got pushed to like this next season that's like starting now.
Yeah.
And so we've got all
You've
those
got a few
plus
lined
the
up,
extra.
yeah.
I think we have about like, I actually don't know, I think it's like a close to 60 in the next year.
That's
And
not
how
bad, though.
many-
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
How many DJs have you got?
So we draw from
Repertoire.
about 15 DJs, and we
You got
also
15 DJs for 60 events.
Well, nah.
that's
So like the
that's
weddings,
just
we only
weddings,
draw
though.
from about 4 or 5 for weddings,
Yeah. Okay.
and then we have like 5 or 6 that we draw from for like the venues,
Right.
and then we are programming like the Silent Disco at Oktoberfest, for example, and then we like choose a bunch from all over there and then put them in there, and then we might have like, so for example, like I'll show you what we got this weekend, and it's like crazy. So like if I look at like when it's kind of busy. So
Did you have to go and do any courses or anything like that to be able to like learn
The
about
business side of
the
it?
business side, the booking side?
I
of
went
it,
to
an
the Small Business Development Corporation, which is
Yeah.
like a place in the city. And they have a bunch of workshops on like running any business. So if you're a plumber or if you're like running
General
corner
business
telly,
things.
yeah, if you're looking to like run a business, go there. It's amazing. And you can have like one-on-one meetings with a business professional for free. It's really, really
How
good.
long is the course for?
True.
How much does it cost?
It's workshops. So they're 3-hour workshops, and you can pick whatever workshop you want. And each workshop's like $50, I'm pretty sure.
That's not bad.
So I went to
at
like
all.
6 or 7 workshops when I first started. So what happens is like I went to this gig in the Philippines where we did the mannequin challenge. I got back and I was like, cool, if like I just do one of those gigs like 40 times a year, then I'll make like 50 grand or 40 grand.
Yeah.
That would be my life.
Yeah.
And then my dad's like,
Yeah.
do you reckon that's good money? And I was like, I don't know, it's good money now. And he's like, I reckon you could do better than that. And I was like, oh, okay. And that was kind of when I started like doing the stream.
About
Like,
the side hustle.
yeah, so I started like actually putting the wheels in motion for Streamline, and that's when like we registered the business, set up the website, and like made everything happen. And then from that point, there was all these promoters and people we worked with who were like, "Oh, if you're running your own stuff now, we'll just deal with you instead of dealing with like 15 DJs.
That's it,
we'll just
yeah.
be like, you book it all."
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like taking the hassle off the venue managers' mind and their plate and stuff.
It just it simplifies things to an extent.
Yeah. So what were we talking about before that? So I feel like I tangented back to that.
We were talking about how the process of like finding leads for your business.
Yeah, cool.
But I'm also interested in like the post-COVID outlook for.
Yeah, so because all those events got postponed and all the weddings got postponed, and they're still getting postponed because, you know, if you live in Melbourne, you can't come to a Perth wedding.
That's it.
So
yeah.
people are like, we've got 20% of our guests are from Melbourne. We can't have our wedding without 20% of our guests. So it's like a constant battle to like keep up with the postponings and like see the availabilities and stuff.
We'd just be answering emails and contacting people and just making sure they're like, is it going to go ahead? Is it not going to go ahead?
Yeah, or like when
back
they
and
decide to
forth.
pull the pin, like obviously our terms and conditions are like non-refundable, non-transferable deposit, but I'm not going to be like, oh, sorry, I'm going to stick you like 100,
Yeah,
like
exactly,
a grand because, you know,
It's just not good business practice.
yeah, and like I don't want to be a dick. Like
Yeah, that's it.
at the end of the day, like we're on JobKeeper because we had a downfall. Obviously, there was no gigs for 3 months,
Yeah.
and like I'm not in a position where I'm desperate for every deposit I can get. So like if someone else is in that position, which is a lot of people are, then I'm not going to be the one that's going to like tell them to fuck off when they ask for their money back. I'm gonna be like, yeah, of course. You've been put in a hard place. But a lot of them are postponing, so they don't, like, we just hold on to their deposit until they have their new date, you know?
Well, that's the thing though, because most of them probably would just like postpone and just wait for the right time. Because like, you know, you've already paid your deposit. And it's like,
Yeah.
we're still going to get married. It's still going to happen.
Yeah, some people actually had their ceremony still, and they're going to have a reception, just the reception later, which is a good idea, I reckon, depending on like how intimate you want your ceremony to be. And then some people have actually, I've had a couple that like split up because it was like they didn't have their wedding day, and then like all the other things that go along with the
Holy
coronavirus.
shit! Really? So it's just like the couples actually.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
Or like their
harsh.
wedding is no longer going ahead, which I presume is them splitting.
Yeah,
Weddings for people are like so intense.
they would be. Yeah.
So intense, and there's so much pressure on it, and there doesn't really need to be that much pressure on it. Like
Yeah.
it's just a party with your friends.
Yeah.
Just
And
enjoy
it's so cruisy usually because I've done like 14, 15 weddings now for a private company.
Yeah.
And with that, it's just usually just rock up, set up your speakers. You might do a little bit of emceeing here or emceeing there, but then it's just cruisy, chill. And
Yeah,
as long
it's
as
quite
you-
like, it depends like what you're kind of offering. If you're offering like the full MC services and like I'll like have a meeting with the clients beforehand and go through everything that they want. You're doing the walk up songs as people are going up to speak, and a lot of it's like timekeeping as well, like going up to all the people that are speaking and going, hey, how you going? Like your speech is going to be in 5 minutes. Just want to make sure you're all good. You got a drink. You've gone to the toilet. You're ready to go. Because like you don't want to get up there and go like, now we got the father of the groom, and then you look around and he's like not in his chair. You're like,
It's like, oh, where the hell is he? That's it. Yeah.
So
it's just following. Honestly, it's just like following a timetable to an extent. When you say like,
it depends. Like I don't like to like apply the same rule for every wedding because every couple is different.
Every single one's different.
So we have like a fill out form where they tell us exactly what they're after in terms of music and whatnot, and we want to make sure that their night is as good as possible. So I don't like to just go like, this works, I'll just do this all the time. Copy, paste, paste. But a lot of people like similar things. So it is easy to like fall in the trap of just playing the same stuff. But like, I don't want to be the DJ that people are talking about that are like, he just has 30, 40 songs that he has to the wedding players and it's the same every time. And I think that's the difference with Streamline. Like, our whole marketing like idea is like, you're getting like a club or bar standard DJ, someone who's like a regular on the festival club circuit to play at your wedding. So you're not getting like some 50-plus-year-old dude who's like been doing weddings for 30 years and like that's his full-time gig. You're getting someone who's like young, energetic, fun, and like wants to party, wants to have an epic night with you, not just wants to sit there and go.
Would you say you're like targeting like a specific niche of the wedding market? Because surely there's like 50-year-olds getting married and stuff.
There are so many weddings.
Yeah, I mean, there's there's literally so many weddings. There's so much work for everyone, and it's so funny because there's so much work. Like,
there's so many people.
I'm part of like a bit of like a Facebook group where just a whole bunch of like people who do full-time weddings, pretty much. And whenever there's like a free gig, everyone's like, "Oh, who wants this gig?" And then someone's like, "Oh yeah, like I'm free that day." And like, "Yeah, cool, you can have it." And it's not like because you're going to pay you a referral fee. It's just like there's so much work to go around. Everyone can have work.
Yeah, shares it around.
If you're a good DJ,
well,
we
that
are
begs the
sometimes.
question: how many is too many to have on your roster?
Sounds like I want to be part of that group.
Yeah, it's a good group to be part of. How many is too many in terms of like how many weddings?
Or no, how many like DJs to have in your roster?
It depends because we do like quite like a range of things. I think that we're not like heavily like focused on any particular side, and it also means that like the DJs don't get stuck up doing like 2 weddings a weekend for like 4 months. Imagine doing that. You'd be like, I don't want to do a wedding anymore. So then like they'll play.
Even thinking like the DJ side and like keeping it fresh and stuff.
Yeah, because I'm a DJ. I've done it, and then also like with the bars, like you go play a bar set, you play a club set, you play a wedding. If you do that if you do a mix of things all the time, it never gets old. Whereas if you just do the same bar every Friday for 6 months, you're gonna get sick of it. The bartenders are gonna get so sick of it because you like play the same 400 songs. You might play like 100 this night, 100 that night, 100 the next night. But at the end of the day, the bartenders are going to know what music you're playing. And sometimes it gets to the point where people are so comfortable in their venue that they just literally play the same song one after another. And then the bartenders are like, shoot me, I don't want to be here. It's more about like keeping the bartenders happy than it is about like the actual punters.
Well, it's all
just quickly talking about Scarborough Beach Bar. Since I've been playing there so many weeks, like I think I've been playing there for 22 weeks now, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Like, that's before COVID, and that's like Saturdays and Sundays sometimes, right? But the thing is with that, it's like sometimes I actually have been getting to the point where it's like what we were talking about in the early parts. It's like these songs work. If I play these songs in this order, it's guaranteed to get people singing along or do this or do that. But the bartenders, it's just one of those things where it's like you gotta mix it up, gotta mash it up.
And for me, like I take that as a challenge, and if I can make the bartenders have a good night, then they will be like vibing, and then that reflects back to the actual punters as well.
Exactly, yeah.
It's all about that a lot in Greece because we would play I play in Greece 5 hours every night for 100 nights. It's like, and it's the same bartender every night. They're gonna get so sick of hearing that
Dancing Queen,
or like whatever you're playing, right? So then because of that,
it's a trickle down thing. Like you keep the bar staff happy, they're on a good vibe. That vibe rubs off to the patrons. They're on a good vibe. Like you've got to keep the bar staff happy. You got to keep the security guards happy.
Well, that's like
you got to keep all the other DJs that are playing before and after you happy.
That's the whole thing about being a DJ, though, because it's like you're supposed to be providing an ambient, like an atmosphere. You're supposed to be providing the music and like making sure everyone can groove and have a good time. Like making sure that everyone's just having a great time. Like if anyone's having a bad time, like you're in the corner, you see the whole entire crowd. You're the security sorted out
and it's also like make it fun for me as well. So like in regards to like trying to play different tunes and keep it fresh for yourself, I try and do that. And it's so funny because like sometimes I'll be playing like a school ball, right, and there'll be like 300 kids in front of me, and I'm like, oh, I really like this new like Northeast Party House song, which is like a banger on Triple J. So then I play it, and then the kids just look at me like,
what the hell is
fuck?
this?
And I'm like, man, I'm trying to like change it up because I'm like, I don't want to play like Pump It by Black Eyed Peas and Mr. Brightside and Dancing Queen because I know you'll go crazy. But like I have so much more enjoyment in finding a song that will go crazy that like I haven't played before. So I'm like, oh, where's that song? And then like at the end of the day, you're like, oh, Screw
It's always
this.
a
I'm just gonna
mission
play
for a
like
DJ.
I'm just gonna play like the recommended bangers.
Would you say that's like every song has a place to an extent as well? Because
Yeah.
like it's like, you know, the way you can mix it in, the way you can build up the atmosphere, like build up the hype and then drop that sort of
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
And then they hear it's like, I haven't heard this before,
Yeah.
but this is a
Like
banger.
every single time I play, not so much with songs I haven't heard, but songs that like are recognizable from the start.
Mm.
There's some songs that you want to mix in, and there's some songs that you just want to drop from nothing.
Yeah.
So like I'll like echo out from somewhere and then play like Hypnotized by Biggie, or like I'll like build up and then like get on the mic and be like, how's it? I don't even fucking voice that.
Yeah.
I would like get on the
Self-censoring
mic and
that.
say something like, you know, like we've got 1 hour left, let's go crazy, and then
Put
like
your
all
hands
the
up
kids
in
are
the
like,
air.
and you got to put on a show when you're
That's
playing with
it,
people
yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're not drunk, they're kids, and they just like they get off your energy, so you just go as crazy as you can, and then it rubs off on them, and then you scream and go like, how's everyone feeling? And then they go crazy, and then you play like the intro to Pump It by Black Eyed Peas, which is like so recognizable, and
Yeah,
they'll
exactly,
go like,
yeah.
this is sick.
Would you say that's
Yeah.
like it actually is a big thing when it's like, you know, if you get booked to go do a venue, you have to kind of rock up and provide the best atmosphere, the best kind of like the best vibe, energy possible.
Yeah,
Because,
I've
like,
been
if you
there
don't,
like screaming on the mic, going crazy, like everyone go crazy, bye. And then I like go down and I'm just like, fuck, I'm hell not into this tonight. Like,
yeah,
you know, but it's like I can't be there going like, oh, I'm having
That's
a shit
it.
time. Like,
because we're getting paid to
I
do a
feel at the
job.
end of the day, your job isn't to select the music. Your job is to entertain.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a corner and no one can see you, then you're doing background music. You select the music. But when you're playing like a festival or a club night where like people are going and it's about the music, you're on stage and you need to like make it as entertaining as possible. Whether that's like
Yeah,
this is
jumping
what
up and
happens,
down
right? So
or-
I played Ice Cream Factory New Year's Eve last year. So I played like the countdown set, so 11:30 until 1:30, right? So that full like half an hour before the countdown, I was just like, we got 20 minutes left, and everybody would be like, ah! I spent about 50% on the money that I got paid on like inflatable toys.
Really,
Yeah,
but it's worth it though, right?
like it was New Year's Eve, so I like charged a bit, and like so I spent so much money on inflatable toys, and like had to cart them in with like we had like 6 bags of inflatables and like pump them all up for like 2 hours. Then I'm on stage and I'm like, we're gonna put these inflatables in the crowd, and everyone's like, ah! And I'm just like doing it, and it's just like going everywhere. It's crazy. Like that is like entertaining, you know. That's
It
not
would
just
be
like
an
rocking up and being like,
experience, though,
yeah.
as
And
well.
I want to have fun. You know,
Yeah.
it's my New Year's Eve too. Like I want to
It's
have a good time.
also one of those things that's like, you know, 5 years down the track and be like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I did that, and it threw inflatables.
There's actually a
into the
sick
crowd.
video of that on our Facebook page. I think it's like on my Shann page. It's like the pinned video at the top of the actual timeline.
Was that Oktoberfest at all?
So that was Ice Cream Factory New Year's Eve.
Oh yeah, yep.
On your Facebook page.
Yeah, on the DJ Shann page.
So with that though, it's just, well, I mean, I 100% agree with what you're saying. It's like you kind of have to go up there and be an entertainer. No one likes the guy in the corner just pressing buttons.
Yeah,
Kind of
unless you're
thing.
playing like a house night or a techno night. Where it's
Sorry,
like,
what
you're not
video is
supposed
it
to do
again?
Yeah, exactly. You're just sitting there.
On
yeah.
the DJ Shann Facebook page.
Yep.
If you go on the timeline, it's the pinned post.
The What a Way to Bring in 2020.
That's the one.
So-
You can just skip about 30 seconds into. That's when the
What happened?
vibes start.
And you started doing the sunset markets in Scarborough for a while.
Yeah, so I've done those
that?
for a while actually.
Because like that's just chill,
like
right?
my funnest gig of the week, for sure. There's a girl called Ava Kidden who like runs them, and she's awesome. Runs a PR company called Kid and Co. And so we DJ in the amphitheater. So there's like heaps of people around, and then I get like we book out a saxophonist through Streamline, so he comes and plays like over me for an hour.
Saxophonist, so
Like a saxophone player, yeah.
Yep.
And that's what you're supposed to call him, saxophonist.
I had no idea.
Sounds a bit fancy. Oh,
Yeah,
saxophonist.
it's very fancy.
So he comes and plays, and we play like together for an hour. So I'm playing like upbeat or like deep house or like nice stuff, you know. Look at this. This is so crazy. The production they have there is so epic. And then I like look at all these little toys I got on stage. Oh, so fun.
That's just amazing.
Yeah. And it's like
Clark,
you imagine
oh.
like it was the most intense 10 seconds of my life, and I'm doing the countdown because I've got to make sure I'm on time when all the other stuff goes off.
Yeah.
So I've got like my phone there with the official time, and I'm like, all right guys, we've got 30 seconds, and I've like got this big song planned and stuff, and then it happens, and like so
This is an under 18s event, right?
no, this is 18 plus.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had the sax guy there as well. He was jamming, so good.
What was your New Year's song?
So I played like a edit of Midnight City by M83
No shit,
and Dance
alright.
Monkey.
Really?
Because it was like Dance Monkey had come out. It was
Freaking
a big thing.
M8.
Such a tune, hey.
That would've been so
Because
good.
it's like New Year's Eve. I've played like the countdown for New Year's Eve for like 5 years or something. Originally at Foreshore New Year's Eve and then Ice Cream Factory. And it's like, it's not really like a get fucked up party moment. It's like everyone's hugging their friends and saying Happy New Year, and it's really nice. So I used to just play like a belter, and then I was like, oh, it's not really the vibe. Like maybe I should play something a bit more nice.
More chill.
Yes, I remember the year before that when the countdown happened. It was like it was outside on the tower stage, and there was like CO2, confetti, and like just so much noise, everyone screaming, and then like fireworks going off, and I was like 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year, and it was like the most sensory overload I've ever had in my entire life. It was like
It would have been.
and all the CO2's coming off from like right next to my head, and I'm like, oh, this is so intense.
Sorry guys, I don't want to be the bringer of bad news,
Yeah,
but we've got less than 15 minutes left, and we want to get through the new segment that we're doing about events coming up.
The new segment.
Yep.
You gonna take it away, or am I gonna take it away, Mitch?
I can take it away if you want.
No, yeah, you start off with Bar Sheller. So
All right.
What's
First
Bar
time
Sheller?
announcing to the audience.
Yep, here we
Myself,
go.
look
Do the
good.
announcement.
Ladies
Your
and
idea.
gentlemen,
That's it.
So we wanted to start a segment where we talk about events that are coming up soon. So we have a list here, and we're going to just briefly, a couple of minutes each one, just sort of discuss our thoughts on the event, I guess. So the first one we're going to talk about is the Fremantle Block Party 2.0. Now, I think you know more about this than me, Alex, so I'll pass it back over to you to explain.
Oh, okay. So
what it is.
from Hugo's up to the National Hotel in Fremantle, they're blocking off the road from what I can gather, and they're going to have what looks like a Beaufort Street festival up and down that road, but in Fremantle.
They've had it before, right? This is the 2.0 one.
I think
They had it. I think last week, or no, it was the same week as the Perth Craft Beer Festival at Claremont Showgrounds.
Oh.
I played at Benny's that night when it wasn't at Benny's. It was just at the Newport and the Federation.
So have we got our dates wrong? Or
No. There was the second one, right? But that
Okay.
first one wasn't on the street. It was just the two venues, and now
Okay.
they've actually they're going to block off the street. I'm pretty sure. So we run the DJs at Benny's Yard in Freo every Friday and Saturday, and it's like it used to be like background tunes in the backyard, but then they put a marquee over it for winter. COVID happened, then COVID left, and it became like full house party vibes. Like people on tables like with their shirts
That's
off,
so
like
good.
so fun. And the guys that own it are like such good dudes, and they're like the owners, but they also managers, so they're there all the time. All the staff's epic, and they just like invested in a new speaker system. So we do every Friday, Saturday there, and it's crazy. I did the night that Block Party was on the first time, and it was mental. So they're doing it again, and Block Party's an epic night, as you know.
So you've got a block party first, and then you can go there later.
Yeah, well, it's at Benny's. It's this time they're incorporating Benny's Yard into the actual thing. It's on
Okay,
it's
so
on
it's
this
part of
Sunday, hey? Yeah.
Well, Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday day, and obviously into Sunday.
No, I'm pretty sure it's just Sunday.
Well, I looked on the event page, and it said Saturday the 27th and Sunday the 28th.
Wow.
I don't know what that means, but maybe it starts early on Sunday night. I don't know.
Nah, it would
Sunday,
be like
Saturday night.
Sunday's like there's a public holiday on Monday, so that'll be a huge Sunday.
Right. Okay, let's move on to the next
Sunday
event.
is where it's at.
Blossom. So
I don't know much about Blossom other than
it's okay. I can talk about it.
Yeah, Burning Swan getting cancelled.
Blazing Swan.
Yeah,
so Blazing Swan was supposed to be on in April this year, and obviously COVID happened, so that got cancelled. And Blazing Swan, I think a lot of people know what Swan is already, but it's like a mixture between like art, culture, and music. So it's a music festival, but there's a lot of art and like.
I've been told it's like the Burning Man of Perth.
Yeah. So yeah,
Exact same.
Blossom is like a smaller event, but similar vibe. So they're focusing a lot on the art. So they've got like live painting, deep house yoga and shit like that that's going on. Self-help exercises, and like it's basically like a spa retreat, but you go camping. Anyway, that's Blossom. That's coming up on Saturday the 27th. So this weekend, the tickets are sold out. So that's what it is. I just wanted to tell everyone I'm going. So
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah. Nevermind's long weekend event on Friday. The 26th.
Shout out to Nevermind and Ace, and I'm pretty sure Douglas is playing that, isn't he? I'm pretty sure.
I think he's playing on Saturday, not the Friday one.
Okay. Well,
But yeah,
shout out
like
to
the
Douglas.
Friday one's a special event. I've got it actually up here. I can tell you who's playing. Tyson Gray, Hannah May, Emmeline Keegs Scott. I don't know any of those. I'm very sorry.
There's some good DJs there.
Yeah.
Nevermind's
Get 'em
such a
on
good spot.
eventually.
Hey, like I remember when it used to be Flight right back in the day, and I used to play there for Father and a few events. And then Ace was like, "I'm buying the bar," and we were like, "Whoa,
Yeah, this
really?"
guy.
And then he bought it, and he like turned it around and made it such a sick little subculture
Yeah.
for the house heads, and it's so sick, man. And like I would love to play at places like that more because it's like such an awesome experience to play music that you love to people who love it.
Yeah.
But then like the full-time job of being a DJ and like taking the gigs that pay the most money mean that you kind of miss out on some of those things
Exactly, yeah.
sometimes. But yeah,
But it just seems like, honestly, with what they're doing with like movement and the whole entire thing, it's
he's
just,
killing it. He's doing such a good job.
He's
Creating the subculture, and
best
it's like,
thing.
it's
Like,
amazing.
Yeah,
so
Nevermind's
good.
really good if you like house. Very small club. Obviously, it's called Small
not
Club.
even that, it's just
It's a vibe.
the
like-
whole vibe
Yeah.
behind it, the energy behind it, a whole lot, the courtyard. Like when we had him on the podcast talking about the whole thing where it's the only place in Perth where you can like smoke a durry, have a drink, and then watch the DJ without
Yeah.
having to leave to go to the smoking. Kind of thing.
That's
yeah,
true.
that's
Actually,
definitely a big bonus.
Yeah, you like, look up and see the stars in the sky. You're like, yeah, nightclub.
Yeah, definitely hit up Nevermind this weekend if you're house vibes, you want to chill but also party, like that kind of vibe. That's like the best way I can describe it. And finally, we're going to talk about Barcella.
Barcella. So what's the promo code again?
Right.
Ooh.
So
get on that promo game, ladies and
I gotta
gents.
check it.
So
so
Katie-
$5 that you spend.
free promotion, yeah. Katie Banks, we interviewed her a couple of weeks ago. Very nice girl. She's holding an event called Barcella, which is an industry night, where they're gonna have some like awards and stuff for DJs and stuff. I think there's 35.
It's not even just DJs. It's like hospitality. It's glassies, bartenders, managers,
Yeah, it's everything.
The whole
Yeah,
lot.
I think Perth really needs a hospitality night because we had Nocturnal Ball
But it
at
just
Metro
dissipated,
City,
didn't
and
it?
then that isn't happening anymore. And there was
Yeah.
another one that came about which wasn't as big. And I feel like it's epic that Katie's come up with this and she's going to do it because obviously she knows so many people in the industry because she works at so many places and she's been in the industry for so long.
Yeah,
like
she's
she
been
worked
around.
at Air as a promoter. I think she was a promoter there for like
yeah.
so many years. So she like understands nightlife a lot more than people think because people just look at her and like they take face value, but she's actually like she's super clued on.
When we had her on, she's a very smart girl.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing.
So that's Barcella, and Barcella is not on this Monday, but next Monday, which is the 5th of October. And Katie was nice enough to give us a little cheeky discount code.
What was it? It was
Naughty.
20 off red or something.
Close.
That was very, very close.
Sorry, Katie, I've got to pull the message up again.
Here we go.
Here
and
we go.
the discount code is.
And the discount code is listening to red.
Listening to
All
Red.
lowercase,
Yeah.
one word, listening to red. If you want a discount on your ticket to Barcella, put that in when you go to purchase a ticket. The event is in the description of the video now, so go and click that if you want to go to the industry night.
I just
All
got
right.
a message from the guy from Benny's. He said Block Party is on Sunday from 5 p.m.
Oh, he was
Big
watching.
vibe. Shout out to Ivan, my homeboy.
Maybe
There you
Love
go.
it.
maybe there's like some festival involved with it, and they just put like all the days together or something. I don't know.
I'm not
Who
sure. I think
knows?
because they have like multiple block parties.
Yep.
You know how it has like a reoccurring event on Facebook? It might have been that.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I've got a few events coming up that
I
I'd
should
love
pay
to
more
chat
attention.
about.
Yeah.
So
Moving on to that now.
Yeah, perfect. Am I segueing into my
Yeah,
segueing
plug.
into-
Yeah, your little plug moment.
Ripper, right on time. So we obviously do like a big bunch of things. We do like the weddings, the corporates. I play at like a lot of the bars that we roster. So Stables Bar, the Reveille, Benny's and Freo, and then we will do Scarborough Sunset Markets again when it kicks up in summer. So I've got a huge weekend coming up where I'm playing on the 9th of October. A few sunset corporate drinks at Reveille, and then I'm playing at Matter, which is the Friday night at Magnet House.
You're playing at Oktoberfest again?
Yeah, so that's the same weekend. So this is the 9th of October at Matter, and then I'm playing at Geisha later that night at 1 a.m, which is like a vocal disco night, which I'm pumped for because like I played at Geisha last month, and it's like
Live vocal
like,
disco?
Such a good venue, right?
as in like not live. I might get the sax guy in actually, like
Do it.
so sick.
Yeah.
So that's the 9th, and then the 10th, I'm playing at Snack, which is the event at Claremont Showgrounds that the Bar Pop guys are doing, and San Cisco just got announced for that, and they have another headliner, which is like really big. I know who it is, and it's fucking huge.
It's not client liaison, is it?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Damn it.
So that's at Snack, and that headliner is replacing Hermitude because Hermitude can't make it with the
with the
2-week.
yeah.
So they're doing like a 30-meter boombox stage outside. There's going to be 10,000 of people there. It's going to be huge. They got a rave room, smoke machines, lasers. It's going to be epic. Like epic.
What's
the guys,
event
it's
called
the
again,
guys.
sorry?
Snack.
Snack. And
So
where
it's
is it at?
The
It's
Claremont
at Claremont
Showgrounds,
Showgrounds,
10th
yeah.
of October. So those are the guys that do Ice Cream Factory. This is their other event, right? So it's going to be like Ice Cream Factory grade of like production.
It's at the like centenary.
No,
like
so no, it's not that one.
warehouse?
It's the warehouse where they had the Perth Craft Beer Festival. So on the
Okay.
west side,
Right.
yeah, and then some of the Oval as well. And then later that day, we're doing Oktoberfest as well, which is 10,000 people plus. So we got I got two 10,000 person events
No
Got
shit.
'em all
in one
lined up.
day. Yeah. So then we Streamline Entertainment is running like the silent disco channels along with Jake Stone Unknown, for Oktoberfest in the Garden. So we've got
Do you
Jake
have
Stone is
access
just-
to silent disco headphones?
yeah.
So that's part of your business as well.
No, so they actually own their own Oktoberfest, but we actually hire it out through Streamline as well. Yeah.
Didn't Jake Stone just come back from?
Yeah, from
quarantine?
Melbourne.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from Melbourne. He's been in quarantine.
He was
for a
living in
while,
Melbourne
so-
for 3 years, and
Yeah.
then he's come back to get amongst Perth life because he couldn't deal with Melbourne anymore, as I'm sure everyone can
many
understand.
Because I was
Yeah.
actually talking to Mitch about this earlier. How I want to get him on to talk about the whole.
Yeah, man, I'll
quarantine
link
thing,
you up with
'cause-
him for sure. He'd
Yeah,
love to
because
chat to you.
14 days in quarantine sounds.
Dude,
like
it's not
hell.
it's not that. It's like the 6 months he did in Melbourne, like
yeah.
pretty much in quarantine anyway. He works as a nurse and a DJ, and obviously there was no DJing there. And
That's
like
it,
working in a hospital when coronavirus is happening, like
Doesn't
hectic.
sound-
Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound healthy at
Oh.
all.
So that's that big weekend, 9th and 10th, and then for all the wedding heads out there,
Roll the wedding head.
Yeah.
we're doing Stables Bar Wedding Open Day, so
Right.
you can walk through the venue and see what's up
Oh.
in regards to weddings there. That's on the 29th of October. We've got other gigs in between in regards to like me personally playing, but they're just the normal bar gigs and a few weddings. And then the 31st of October, which is Halloween, I will most likely be playing at Seasons,
Right.
which is I think at Claremont Showgrounds again.
They're doing a thing for Halloween, huh?
Yeah, it's like it's just a party on Halloween, so you can
Right.
dress up if you want. I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
And then Melbourne Cup, which is the 3rd of November, which is the Tuesday. I'm doing a 5-hour set at Optus Stadium,
Oof,
which will be epic.
that would be very.
Got my
epic.
suit tailored,
Yeah.
ready to go,
Optus
dressed to the
Stadium, holy
nines.
crap.
Where can people find you online, Shan?
If you go at djshan.com
Mm-hmm.
or in Instagram, it's just DJ Shan with 2 N's. On my
Speaking of which,
Facebook
I actually
page.
have his website.
Yeah, and this is Streamline Entertainment, so this is my DJ agency. And if you look
Very,
on there,
very nice website. By
thanks,
the way.
man. I put it together myself. Well, Furman Asman, as amazing, or Next Level Perth, or Mr. Humble, the guy who does Club
Mr.
Humble.
Humble.
He well, Club Humble, I don't know,
Yeah.
King Humble. He's the guy who made it for me, and then I just kind of grabbed the template and started twitching it. But if you go meet our team, it shows you like all the DJs that we have. We also have like an acoustic artist, a saxophonist, as I mentioned, and a singer in Lisa.
Yeah, good old Jared. I saw him on the weekend. He's
Yeah,
supposed to be coming
Genga.
on soon. I want to
Yeah,
get Genga.
nice.
Really want to get Genga.
So that's all the squad, and that's how you can book us. If you just go to the contact us section, that's how you get in touch with us. So yeah, we're stoked. Another thing we've got coming up is that Scarborough Sunset Markets. So on the Thursdays from the November 5th, every Thursday throughout summer, we'll be in the amphitheatre. It'll be me and the rest of the crew, and like the acoustic artist jamming over me, or the saxophonist jamming over me, or we got like bongo drummers as well, trying to keep it fresh every week and make
That's
it fun.
pretty cool. Like bongo
So fun,
drummers
man.
and
I get to
stuff.
play like really nice music there, so I really like playing every week, and it's awesome. Like there's all these food stalls and all these like retail stalls. It's such
Yeah,
an
walked
epic vibe.
not through the Sunset Markets, like through the Little Bits and markets the other day, and it's just
Yeah, so they
It's
do
so
it on
good.
Saturdays in winter, but then
Yeah.
in summer it's like way bigger scale. So hopefully they can run it full steam with
do they
the
have like a
restrictions.
farmers market down there as well at all?
I'm not entirely sure. Hey, there's a lot going on there though, and,
Yeah.
and the team are like constantly grabbing new ideas and doing new things. They were doing private dining last year, where you could like rent out like a tier of the grass, and you have your own custom, like your own private chairs, and then someone goes and delivers you food from all the vendors and
That
your own
sounds
bar, and like
amazing.
you get a parking bay at Rendezvous. It's like
Yeah, like
premium.
top tier kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then the last thing we've got coming up before the kind of full silly season kicks off in November, December is the 14th. I think it's the 14th of November. I'm playing at the Happiness Gala. Yeah, 14th of November.
Happiness Gala.
Gala, yeah.
Whereabouts
Gala.
is that?
It's at Optus Stadium. So this is for
Okay,
Happiness Co. So Happiness Co is like it's like a social, it's kind of like a charity. It's like a social entity that focuses on mental health in Australia.
And they do. Oh no, that's Radio Lollipop that does the.
Yeah, so the guy who actually is the GM used to work on Radio Lollipop as well, Robbie Fig, and he's the guy who's emceeing he's emceeing Oktoberfest and Melbourne Cup up to Stadium, and he'll obviously be doing stuff at that event. So they just focus on mental health within Australia. They do a lot of stuff with the miners and like literally everyone. So they're doing like a big fundraiser for that, and that's at Optus Stadium in the River Room, which is an epic room. So I think I'm playing that one as well. Well, I am playing that one as well. It'll be
That's
epic. And
pretty
then
exciting.
Ice Cream Factory will kick off and we'll do all those, and heaps of weddings and corporates and
It's ramping up again. All the
it's
so
getting
good.
full on. Hey,
Yeah, WA, the beacon of hope, right? To
Yeah.
an extent, like
Let's do
everything else is just crumbling to an extent.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Shan,
We're
for coming
good.
on. It's been great
my
to have you on
pleasure.
the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
thank you so much.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
And we're like, what, 3 minutes over?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Uh,
this is episode 45.
Yep.
Thank you so much for coming
Pleasure.
on.
Thanks for
This has
having
been
me, boys.
amazing. So much information.
Lots of info. I got more to talk about.
Yeah,
We
like-
didn't even have my little bag
That's
of.
exactly
Oh, yeah.
like,
Let's quickly do that.
Yeah, last thing. Let's go through
Why
your
not?
bag of goodies.
Shan,
Here
would
we
you like to
go.
explain what you brought?
What
here?
is this?
my bag of stuff.
Stuff.
So these are all like most of the lanyards I've got over the years.
Damn.
So there's like Ice Cream Factory, Rushmore. It's a photo of me go karting in Tokyo. A festival in Fiji I DJ'd at. Oktoberfest in the Gardens.
You've literally done it. You've kept all
you've
the
done
rest.
it.
Yeah, 100%. Why not? Wonderland. This was a sick little event we did. Ooh, I didn't do. I just played at. There's like so many epic memories here, and it's like so epic to look at because it's like every lanyard has its own little story.
That's it, yeah.
And its own little Instagram story.
But that's the thing though, is like you can look back on this in like 10, 15 years and be like,
yeah, I
remember
can
that,
go watch
remember
my
that.
like Instagram highlights and go, whoa.
I used to be a-
I catch
used to
myself
be a
doing that
rock
sometimes. I'm
star.
going, man, it's so exciting to like see like all the epic stuff.
Mm.
I think on our on my DJ Shann Instagram, there's actually like a highlight reel for DJ Fun, and that's just like literally like all the Instagram stories of like me playing at like the big events of like 7,000, 10,000, 20,000 people, and me just being like, wow, like, this is so sick.
It was like, oh my god, 10,000
Or it's like
people.
at a school ball, like woo, or a yoga
That's so cool.
yoga
Right?
event. Yeah.
That's, I mean, like, it looks like you got at least like 40, 50, 60.
Yeah, and
pairs.
there's heaps that didn't make the cut, obviously. And there's like all these random like Metropolis Fremantle VIP,
wristbands
like
and stuff.
just chuck it all in there. Hey, why not? New Year's Eve, that was awesome. Yeah,
That's amazing.
Music Run. This is that.
I think
event
I've got
in
like
the
4.
Philippines.
The
Fringe
rest I've
World.
just thrown away.
I
I've
got one.
lost.
Yeah.
I literally have one, and that's the one for the boiler.
There I am, Shann, artist, Fringe World. We did
Yeah,
like the
bam.
artist only area at Fringe World. That was pretty wild.
Fringe World.
bunch
Marshall
Oh,
Walk.
what? Really? Like, did
Yeah.
you meet any?
All the fringe artists, yeah, they would come there for beers, and there'd be like
No
a little private
shit.
area.
That's
we were
awesome.
DJing it, so we're just like all the weird, like all the like weird and wonderful people of Fringe,
Mm.
where they go to like get drunk on Fringe nights. We were DJing there. It was like
That's so
Marshall
good.
Walker just walked in to the room, said,
just-
"Go Shan."
he just walked into the room and said, "Go Shann."
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
see him at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. We're doing Cold Nips, which is like this this event that happens every Wednesday at different beach locations, and you
Right.
go and do a morning sunrise swim with like-minded people
Right.
and get a coffee. So
Well, so
Nice.
that's one thing we didn't
See him
actually
in
get to
9
go
hours.
into. Like, one thing I really did want to dive into is just like, I noticed from like, I've been following you on Instagram for a while, but I thought, when you were doing like the health thing, where it's
Yeah.
like, actually trying to live like, going out and partying until God knows what hour, and then actually trying to have a healthy lifestyle.
yeah,
at the
it's not
same
really
time.
one that you can maintain at the same time.
It is so
but,
just like
yeah.
hard to balance out to an extent.
What I try to do is like when I like was kind of not into partying as much as I used to be, and it wasn't really giving me the same sense of satisfaction.
Just quickly as well, like, how old are you at the
I'm
moment?
26.
26, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 27, so I'm
Yeah,
one,
whoa,
year,
whoa.
1 year older. And it's just like, I'm starting to feel it now. It's
Yeah,
like,
and
you
it's
go
also
out,
it's like you don't
oh.
want to, you don't have the desire to party as much as you used to. And I think that like if you went out every Friday and Saturday from when you were 18 to when you were 30,
Mm.
say if you took that number of times that you would have gone out, I probably would have hit that quota like 3 years ago from being to Greece every night of the week going out,
Yeah.
and like just a lot of traveling and a lot of
Yeah,
partying.
told us about your liver.
Yeah, the liver's gone, man,
Exactly.
but it's good now, And then like I think with like doing the weddings and the corporates where you need to bring your own gear and drive, that's kind of like something that's forced me to like not have the same lifestyle.
Yeah.
So now I like meditate a lot. I make sure I like cook food and try to eat healthy, and like even just the act of cooking is quite like
Yeah, it's
like
therapeutic,
quite
yeah.
therapeutic for the
Yeah.
mind. Yeah, I think I'm up to like 115 days straight of meditating.
Really?
Yeah. So and I was like doing a lot of like exercising and cardio fitness and stuff. And then I ended up fracturing my wrist and my elbow, so that was a bit of a setback. But I'm actually 3 months post-op this week, so I'm gonna get back into it now.
Oh, shit.
Hopefully, thank you. Yeah, woo, 3
Congrats,
months. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that like a lot of people like just presume that the lifestyle is like full on getting shit faced, and you walk to a venue and they give you $100 bar card and you just get fucked up, which is like, yeah, you can do that. And I used to do that every weekend, every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But now like
I gotta admit, like weddings are kind of a bit better in a way because it's just like you change that routine, but it's just chill,
and like a lot of
it's
corporates
just-
and weddings and the bar gigs, they finish at 12 or 1. So
exactly,
then you pack up, you go to bed, you're in bed by 2:30. Whereas when I play like the club shows and I finish at 5, and then I'm
Yeah.
like starving, so I get a feed and have a beer, and then like it's like 6:30 and I go to bed.
Yep.
Then
it's
like the whole
7.
next day is just written off.
Yep.
Like, so yeah, and I think like the responsibility of the business has kind of forced me to like not have benders anymore.
Yeah, at some point you have to like.
That's it.
you
So
have
I've
to
got like
become a
50
business
emails to
owner.
reply to, man. Like I can't go out tonight. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's where it comes down to, right?
Yeah.
It's just like we all get older eventually. And it's like,
Yeah,
we gotta take
I'm trying to transition
responsibility.
to it. Like, I think that I've got myself set up for the next like 10 or so years, and then when I'm 35, I just mean in terms of like in bookings and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
like all my friends are going to be getting married in the next 10 years, so like I have work there if I want it. You know?
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to think about what I want to do when I'm 40. 45.
DJing like sports star or being a singer or whatever. It's a ticking time bomb.
Yeah,
You've
exactly.
Only got, like,
I can be
10
a
to 20
45-year-old
years.
wedding DJ, but like, am I going to want to do it then?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think about things that I can set up in
I
the
mean,
meantime.
you're not going to be a 45-year-old guy in the club DJ.
You could be, man.
There
Could
are
be.
people
Well,
out there.
Yeah, I know, but like it's the 1%.
Yeah, but like I
not
know
so
people
much
that
just
do
the
it like
1%,
I know
no.
people who are like above 40 who do it
Yeah,
like
same
for a
thing.
full-time job,
Yeah.
and they're like people are still telling me when this is gonna stop, and I'm still doing it. Like
Yeah.
you know,
That's it.
You're 26.
Well, see, that's my
Yeah.
opinion straight up. It's like I just do it till I drop.
I mean, you had Mine Electric on. He does it. He's like
Yeah.
done a few bar
And
sets
he
and
and
stuff, and
he
he
has
loves
just
it.
had a number 1 in the ARIA charts.
Yeah,
as
well, that's what I'm saying. He's the 1%.
Yeah, well,
He's got that traction because he's put the effort in and
but that's
gotten the.
I think what happens is you get to an age where you don't want to be in that like environment anymore,
Yeah,
where
that
you're in the clubs
lifestyle.
and the bars
True,
and the
yeah.
party spots. So you're like, I'll find something else to do. I'm sick of not having my weekends. I'm going
Thanks
to
for throwing me a
transition
bone.
into something. Yeah, I'm going to try and transition into something that's more like normal work.
Yeah.
Whereas if you love it, like just keep doing it. Who
That's
cares?
exactly it. That's exactly it.
Yeah, don't
It's-
get me wrong. I'm not trying to tell anyone like you can't DJ if you're over the age of 30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just thinking like if I feel the way I am now about like nightlife and going out, and like there's some nights where I'm like I don't want to go out, but I'm like no, it's my job, I enjoy it, I get the opportunity to do this, not I have to, I get to have that mindset and that change. But I know that when I'm like 40 or older, I'm probably going to have a different mindset, probably not going to want to go out and party as much or listen to loud music.
Well, we can hope, can't we?
Yeah.
I've seen some pretty old people in clubs. So
And
that's gonna be me. I'm gonna be
So
the
good.
tall, wrinkly, 70-year-old redhead. That's probably doesn't have redhead.
oh, it's grey hair, you'll be like woo, it's
Yeah.
time,
That's it,
baby.
I'll be a white fox skirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So
So
it
good.
just
that
comes
makes
down
me
to-
feel dirty.
It does just come down to that mentality to an extent, though, where it is just like, like when you go out and play a gig, right, and you get to see all those smiles and all those people just having fun and actually having a great time. It's so rewarding to be
Oh,
like,
100%.
Yeah.
Especially if, like, for a set that's big, I'll spend, like, 2 weeks, like, putting it together and, like, trialing it in different venues and seeing what edits work. And then you finally make this epic hour and a half, 2 hour set, whatever you get booked for.
yeah.
And then, like, I'll make it so that it's, like, mixed in key and it's all harmonically correct and, like, put all the work in. And then you play it and you see everyone go crazy and you go, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's it. You're
That's
just
why you do it.
Damn.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean, though.
I'm
It's
so
just-
sorry, Alex. I
I
have to
know.
put my foot down at some point.
Oh, I know. I just wanted to say one
Because
last
otherwise
thing.
we'll just keep going and it'll be like 3
I know,
hours.
I know. One last thing, though. It's just being able to create moments and memories through music. It's such an experience.
Yeah.
And it's like for your job to be like that, for my job to be like that, it's just, if you do it for the right reasons, there's no reason to stop.
Yeah.
Because if you keep doing it and you keep putting smiles on people's faces, is there anything else really to
Yeah, but
life?
at some
Yeah.
point you
I mean,
have
like,
to.
it's shallow, but
At some point you have to earn a living wage. Like
you do and you
Know what I
don't
mean?
though. Like,
I know people who are like in their 40s, in their 50s, who have a full-time job and just DJ once on the weekend, and
Yeah.
that's like their way of like venting or like having a good time and putting the
Exactly, yeah.
smiles on people's faces.
That's
and then they
what
go work somewhere where they might not like it as much. I don't know how they like their normal job, but like if you froth on the idea of people having a good time, then doesn't matter how old you are.
that's
well
exactly
said.
it. Exactly. That is well said. All right, now we can wrap it up, Mitch. So
I'm the producer. I got to make sure
That
shit runs on
time.
time.
Mr. Producer.
We're over time.
All right, so this is episode 45.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Shan.
pleasure. No,
Honestly, this has been
it's been
great.
epic.
Obviously,
And
we need
gotta
to get you back on
Right.
because we can keep talking.
That's
so.
it.
Yeah.
You will come back on. And like I said, like I really like to go into like the fitness and the health and like
Yeah, for
just
sure,
like
man.
the whole thing about
Yeah,
staying
I think it's something that
healthy.
you need to talk about as well, because there's so many people that are in the industry who
They just
live an
drink till-
unhealthy lifestyle.
Yeah, that's it.
And like I'm guilty of it. Like especially when coronavirus went like kind of finished in Perth and the lockdown was over, I was like, oh my god, I don't have any weddings or corporates. I just have bar sets, and it's just so refreshing because I don't have to be like, I can be hungover tomorrow and it doesn't
That's it,
matter.
yeah.
Because normally I'm like, oh, I've got this big event, I probably shouldn't drink tonight. And then like, yeah, so then it's like I've kind of been not being that healthy for the last month or two, but like
the exact same thing.
I've also not been able to exercise, so it's been very different for me. And I've noticed like the downside of actually living a less healthy lifestyle now that I've tried to live a more healthy lifestyle. So yeah,
Just remember,
Very
kids,
important.
eat your veggies and always
eat
exercise.
greens. They taste good.
Yeah,
They
do.
taste good now.
Yeah, Brussels
They-
sprouts are good.
No, they don't.
Those on you.
Those aren't good. But you cook like a nice meal with veggies. Yeah,
Yeah.
tastes good.
100%.
Mum will be proud.
So this is me. This is Mitch. This is Shan, and we are signing off. Next week we might be doing a double episode with
Halcyon.
Halcyon, and he is a guy that does VJ and video editing and stuff like that. Right?
He's a VJ and set designer.
Yes.
And we're also hopefully going to get Charlie on.
Pope on as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed for a double episode.
A videographer and a VJ, and we'll
Yep,
talk
to
about video stuff. So it'll be good.
Discuss media and everything in between. All right. Thank you guys. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe, as he's going to
Like,
beat me
comment,
up.
subscribe.
Please. Please. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Catch ya.
Thank you.